wait for a few of you to come in the room before I start because I notice my lives have been cutting off at the beginning. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Tell you all it might be a couple minutes early because I know our clocks aren't synchronized. Some might be 5 minutes ahead, 5 minutes behind. All right. Let's get into it. So, this is not a just leave conversation. This is for people who are still surviving it, still scared, still confused, still grieving, still second guessing themselves, still hoping that maybe things will change. And if that's you, there's no judgment here because leaving doesn't always start with your feet. A lot of the times, it starts in your mind first. There's a small mental shift. Move this over here. I need a bigger desk space. There's a mental shift that happens before leaving. It often starts quietly. Hi, welcome in. Welcome in, you guys. There you are. There's my Shredding Silence community. Hi. So I started by saying this isn't just a just leave conversation. It's for the people that are still surviving it, still confused and scared and grieving, still second guessing, still hoping things maybe will change. Um, and if that's you, there's no judgment. That's what this live is about. Because leaving doesn't always start with your feet walking out the door, it starts here. There's a mental shift that happens before you leave. It starts quietly. First, I remember where I stopped making excuses. Um, I started noticing patterns instead of explaining them away or giving the benefit of the doubt. You stop believing their apologies. You want to believe them, but something in you starts questioning everything. And then the Googling, you start secretly searching things at 2 o'clock in the morning. You start imagining peace. Even if you don't know how, you start thinking, I can't do this forever. And I remember the narcissist even saying that. Is this the way we're going to live the rest of our lives? Is this what you want for the rest of your life? And I thought, hell no, no, because it's hell. So I started leaving mentally before I left physically. How many of you can relate to that? Just thinking, I cannot do this forever. I can't do this for one more day. How many of you noticed that? Because sometimes it feels like we know they emotionally leave long before the relationship ended because the breakup starts before the breakup, not because the papers were signed or somebody moved out, but because emotional safety, connection, accountability, effort, little by little started disappearing. And what's interesting is a lot of survivors start leaving mentally too. Take all your love, hope, and second chances and give it to yourself. Yeah, that's where you start. You start focusing on you. You start turning everything that outward that you gave to them and turn it around back on yourself as slowly as that could be before you physically start leaving. So a lot of survivors start leaving mentally, quietly, not because they want to, but because something inside them starts realizing they can't keep surviving like this. I can't do it no more. No bueno. And trauma bonds. This is why the trauma bond makes it so hard for you to leave. One of the reasons people judge survivors is because they think that this is logical. Trauma bonds are not logical. Your nervous system gets involved. Your nervous system gets hijacked with the intermittent reinforcement, the good moments mixed with the pain, fear of financial survival, the loneliness, the kids, the housing, if someone has disabilities, starting over at 50, 60, 70, fearing that nobody will love you again, and then shame. So sometimes people aren't staying because they don't know better. They're staying because they're terrified, especially now with the economy the way it is. um, housing cost, food, gas, everything just keeps rising, rising, rising. And, but our income doesn't. That absolutely scares a lot of people. Mentally left before he discarded me, Katie says. Can you see yourself still in this relationship for another 10 years? Yeah, you have to realistically ask yourself, you know how exhausting it is being with a narcissist. Like, can you physically and mentally, emotionally keep yourself in those dynamics for another 10 years? Like, really be honest with yourself. And it's hard and it's frightening. But here's the invisible stuff that nobody talks about. This second guessing. Was it really abuse? Maybe I'm overacting. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I caused this. And then you have the grief while you're still in it. Because sometimes you're grieving somebody who's sitting right beside you. The person that they presented themselves to be in the beginning with the love bombing, you know, how loving, how sweet they are. They kept you up here on a pedestal. And you're like, where the hell did they go? You want that person back so bad. You taste it. Like you crave them like an addiction because you want that feel good again. They made you the center of their whole world. Hi, Honey Pepper. Welcome in. Sundays do come so quickly. You didn't miss another one. You were here last week, remember? You didn't miss it. I'm glad you're here, girlfriend. Anyways, we were just talking about I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there all the time, you know, just trying to regulate my nervous system. So excited to be here with all you guys again. This is the highlight of my week. Seeing my shredding silence community and supporting each other. If you guys didn't get it, I always do this before my lives, at least a couple hours. I try to do it sooner, but my work week has been busy. I worked overtime this week. Um, so you can grab the link if you want to come on later. Hi, Yolanda. Welcome in. How are you? If you want to come in the live later to actually talk, you can go to my page, the YouTube, or it says the tabs on the top. It'll tell you videos, shorts, lives. Go to post and it's a pinned comment. You can grab the link in there at the bottom of that post, and then you can come in the live later when I open it up. But so sometimes you're grieving somebody that's sitting right beside you. Did anybody start grieving before the relationship even ended? Before you were even out of that, you start grieving that person? Let me know. I'll move on here and give you guys a chance to answer. But there's small ways that you can protect yourself before you leave, because this is practical. Without sounding like just leave, because we all know just leaving isn't always possible. With all the things that I discussed before, the finances, the kids, you know, you might own a house together. There's legal stuff. There's property. There's fear is the main one. That was for me. Fear was the main one of, you know, can you make it alone? Because the narcissist will make you believe that you can't make it without them. They think that they are God. They're way up here and like you're lucky to have them. Has anybody had their narcissist tell them that? Sorry, I said what I tell you guys never to say. Not their narcissist, the narcissist. Angela, hi, Angela. Welcome in here. I love having new people in here. So welcome in here. I'm ecstatic. The narcissist is not here, and I feel 100 pounds lighter. Yay, Honey Pepper. I'm so glad for you. You get a little bit of peace, you get a little bit of breathing. You can go, have your own space. That is so awesome. I am so glad. Maybe if you come on later, we'll get a better connection today. I would love that because I felt so bad at the last live where I couldn't hear you. That's awesome. Yay. It's nice to breathe. We need to breathe. So, small ways to protect yourself while you're still in the dynamics. If you're still living under the roof with the narcissist, still, these are tiny survival tools for emotional protection. So, the number one thing is I want you guys to remember pretend like you're at the movies. I know I've said this before, like you're at the movies because the narcissist wants you to react, right? So when they're doing something to try to get under your skin, I want you to imagine that you were in a movie and they are a character in a play, which they are. Narcissists are characters in plays. They're the director. I made a video about that this week, that they are the director and they want you to stick to your script. So the next time they're poking at you, they say something to try to get under your skin to get a reaction. I want you to get your popcorn and pretend that you are watching a character in a movie and just say, uh-huh, okay, just really gray rock, and you're observing. You are observing them. You're not participating in their madness. Let me get back to the okay, so Angela says narcissists don't want you to leave unless they have a new supply. Yeah, some of them are like that. The one that I was with, actually, it was a reverse discard. So he wanted me to leave. That way they can go play with their new supply or their old supply and they don't have to deal with you. But some of them, yes, I have been with covert narcissists that they will actually not let you leave. And I'll tell you that at the end of this discussion, I'll give you a little story of what happened to me with that. Unruly peasant. Hi, welcome in. I think you've been in here before. My next is family was wealthy, mine poor. So he threatened to take our only child away from me, abusing the court system. That's heavy duty stuff. That must have been so frightening for you. Like going for like when it comes to kids and narcissists, oh, I feel for you guys. Been there, done that. That how are you dealing with that right now? Is that all over and done with? Gosh, I hope so. Honey Pepper, take a deep breath and be grateful for yourselves. Honey Pepper, especially not being an American, I feel isolated, not knowing the American system. I always think I can't make it without help. I always feel, what if I get kicked out in the streets in the cold? Wow. I'm gonna have to research into that. What kind of? Because I only know, the USA help. So there's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of programs out there. I'll have to research. Narcs always have a supply. Yet, yes, they do. They always have to have a backup because one person is never enough for them. You know why? Because they don't want connection. They want control. They want power and they want their ego fed because they have a fragile ego. They want to know what you can do, what they can suck out of you, like your fuel. And they do that with every person. Just realize what time it is. Hi, Deanna. Welcome in here. I'm so glad to see you. Yeah, the time goes fast, doesn't it? Right out the window. The last thing I want is to be redirected to the abuser. Yeah, well, if anybody tells you that, then that's not very good advice. Yeah, definitely not. Narcs use children to keep you. Yes, they exactly use them for pawns. And it's not because they care about the kids, they want to get back at you. Unruly peasant. Yes, horrific, but I was also reverse discarded for his new supply, and he tried to force me to file for divorce to make him look like the victim. Always they've got to be the victim. Always, yeah, the famous reverse discard to make them look like the victim, so they can claim they left me, and I tried. Boo hoo hoo. How did your ex narcissist discard you? Are you asking that to me, Angela? It was actually a reverse discard. They will do things intentionally that they know will get on your nerves, so you want to leave. Like you can't stand them staying. You just can't do it anymore, and they know that it's going to get to you. That way they can play the victim later, like she left me, I was trying to do what I was supposed to do, the whole song and dance. So, back to emotional protection, these little tools, if you're still living with a narcissist, and gosh, that's so hard. My heart goes out to anybody that is still in that situation because we all know here. So, tiny little tools are observing instead of absorbing. like you're watching a movie. You've got the popcorn, you got the popcorn, you just pretend that you kind of remove yourself from them in a way, and that protects you from your reactive abuse, from reacting to their abuse, because they're going to poke, 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 because that's what they want, right? That gives them their fuel, that gives them their dopamine, all of that stuff. So you start, instead of internalizing every jab, you start observing patterns. Honey Pepper says, live on my own in a dangerous area for 3.5 years by myself. So it's not like I can't live on my own, but they try to make you feel that way. They absolutely do. And we are stronger than we realize, and they know that. They know that, but they're trying to get you so disoriented that you don't believe that about yourself anymore. So stick to that, Honey Pepper, because you are stronger than you think that you are. Don't ever listen to what they're saying. You can do it. You've done this before, like you said. Thank you for sharing your personal experience. You're welcome. So let's see. Another tool is, so you observe instead of participating in their shenanigans and reacting to the things that they say, because we want to immediately go to defense, self defense. We want to protect ourselves. But just try to, I don't know, put your hands over your mouth, anything. Just act like you're watching a movie, and then stop over explaining, because they love when you over explain. And it doesn't matter how many different ways you explain something, they will not get it. They will move the bar every freaking time, because they love causing you confusion. That is their main goal, is to cause you confusion. So you don't have to convince somebody to understand your pain, because a narcissist, for number one, they don't give a shit about your pain. They don't care. They don't care. And once you accept that and see that, it makes it so much easier to just observe them, like you're eating your popcorn, like, okay, clown. That's what they start to look like, a clown. Thank you for the hearts. And also create tiny pockets of peace. Listen to your podcast, put your earbuds in, go for walks, journal, support groups, come on my live, safe people online, music, sitting in your car for 10 minutes, taking a drive, anything. Hopefully the narcissist isn't the type that follows you around room to room, because there's those types too. They don't want to let you out of their sight. So I hope nobody in here is in that situation, because that can happen too, where they don't let you freaking do anything. But if you can find these small little tools, just to get yourself a little bit of peace, a little bit of breathing, and then reality testing, um, you'll still start doubting yourself. Like, did that really happen the way that they're saying? Um, Who was that? They thought that I was looking for, see if that was a UPS man or Amazon, because I'm expecting something. But quiet planning counts. No pressure. It might be something like opening your own bank account. If you can do this, I'm not, how the narcissist is that you're with more than anybody else. So go by your discretion. If something is dangerous and you feel like if you do it, it's going to result in some kind of physical violence or something, don't do it. Use your discernment, okay? So, because this doesn't apply to each and every situation, I'm going by my situation with what I dealt with. So there's no pressure, but start opening up your a bank account. Start saving a little bit, gathering paperwork, learning about resources. Researching all your resources. If you have to go to the library, if they check your phone, go to the library so they can't check your search history. Those things count. Doing little things towards moving to freedom all help. That's how I started doing it. Just collecting little things to help you, records, your birth certificate, your social security, all that stuff, your driver's license, all of it. And then you slowly reconnect to yourself, your autonomy, yourself, because the narcissist sucks that out of you until you're dwindling down to nothing. You don't know who you are anymore. Angela says, I don't explain anything to narcissistic family because it's like asking for their permission to make my decisions. Exactly. Or permission to feel a certain way, or you get the judgment, or, I would have, could have, should have, would have, could have, should have done this way. That's good. That's good. You save your energy, and therefore you have peace when you don't explain anything like you did. That's excellent, Angela. So healing doesn't have to start with some gigantic dramatic move. Sometimes it starts really quietly, like asking yourself, this comes back to the autonomy, asking yourself something small like, what music do I even like? If the narcissist was in control of everything, what do I want? Who am I without managing everybody else? What foods do I like? What makes me feel calm? And sometimes reconnecting to yourself starts with remembering who you were before survival mode. Um, give yourself permission. Absolutely. So connect to yourself, remembering before you who you were before survival mode. What did you like? Because it turned everything turns into the narcissist. Um, and I want to say something carefully because I know this part can feel scary. Some of us don't have family. Some of us don't have friends we can go to. I didn't when I left. Um, and there were two different, I'm not talking about this last narcissistic relationship I was in because, I look back at my life and there's a whole pattern of stuff because we know this doesn't start here. This doesn't start with this narcissist. It starts way back from when we're kids. But that's a whole other live in itself, whole other subject. But there was a point in my life with that narcissist before this one that I actually went to a shelter and I was terrified. I had to slowly move my stuff out. When he would go to work, I would move a little bit of stuff into a storage every day. And he didn't notice because he didn't notice stuff like that. Um, and I want to say this because I think people imagine shelters as this hopeless, scary thing. But for me, it turned out to be a really good experience. It turned out to be a stepping stone. Um, so here's my story. So I slowly moved everything out a little bit at a time, right? And when he was at work, and then just the one day that I did finally leave, I had already made, arrangements with the shelter. I had already met with them in person. I had been going to some classes and support groups um, before that, before I even finally left. And the day that I moved out, I just took everything, didn't leave him a note, nothing. And I was able to continue to go to college. Um, there was classes, ongoing classes, the support of the other women. They had childcare there for people that needed childcare. Some places you can even bring your animals because I know that's a fear that keep people stuck too. You don't want to give up your pets because they're like your children. They're the one thing that loves you unconditionally. So some places allow you to bring your pets and they have care like a little shelter out back or on the property or whatever. So I was surrounded by women who were understanding. I was learning the cycle of violence. I'm not saying though that this is everybody's path, but I am saying that sometimes we don't realize that there's options out there and we don't know about because fear keeps us stuck. See, let me catch up on the comments here. Remind me to talk about the point if I come on today, reconnecting to yourself without having to manage the narcissist. That'd be perfect for today, Honey Pepper. Absolutely. Your physical being is beautiful before the narc. You will be beautiful and wiser again. Yes, absolutely. It's only buried. Hi, Kelly. Welcome in the room. How are you doing? Yes, you're all beautiful. What happened is it's like dirt, I don't know, this cheese stick, you just put, the narcissist is doing this, they're covering you up like that, and slowly you don't know who you are, but you're still that beautiful person underneath all of that. You've just got to find him or her again. They're there. You're all beautiful in here. Narcs are attracted to trauma victims, low self worth. I kept attracting very abusive narcs because I grew up with a sadistic narc father. Yep, it goes way back to your childhood because a narcissist can smell that. They smell your vulnerability. They smell how much you're going to work for their love, how much you'll forgive them, how much they can get away with, and then you'll still go back to them because we're so forgiving, the benefit of the doubt, all of that stuff. That's like gold for them. That's a very smart plan, leaving a narcissist without saying anything. You have a right to leave with your things. Absolutely. And some of them, this last one that I was with for 7 years, um, they're all the same pretty much, but they do some certain things a different way, like overts and coverts. The overt I was with would not let me leave. And that when I went to the shelter, that is why I had to leave quietly, not tell him because he was the type that this is my house. You can't have this house. They don't think about your well being or that you have children or anything. It's all about them. But then the covert narcissist was his whole way of thinking was good. If she's gone, then I can get this supply, I can get with that supply. They're thinking, all the things they can do because they don't have to put on the front with you. So the narcissistic thinking is there, it's just in different ways. So you have to vet out that process. You've been with that narcissist and you know how certain things are going to make them react. So you have to be very discerning and leave the way that's going to be safest for you. If you can announce it and they let you go, fine, do it that way when you're ready. But if they're going to become violent, they're not going to let you leave, that kind of thing, you're going to have to take the quiet route and just, like Angela said, just leave a narcissist without saying anything, because your safety is first and foremost the most important thing. So I'm not saying this is everybody's path. I'm not saying leave tomorrow. I'm just saying sometimes there's options we don't know exist yet, and sometimes you don't even have to stay in your same city. Like I had options. There's programs all over, the United States. Honey Pepper, you are in a different situation. We're going to have to brainstorm that one. But sometimes they will let relocate you. I've seen women get plane tickets to fly to another city, and they have a whole home there. This is what it was like when I went. It was a huge home. It was upstairs, downstairs. There was a backyard. There was, playground equipment for the kids. We had certain times that we were scheduled to take a shower, and then we'd have, our day was pretty structured. We'd have groups, we'd have psychologists come in. Um, Classes, you could only leave if you had permission. You had to mark down, by the door where you were going, when you would be back. I was going to college, so I was able to leave pretty freely, but all of them operate in a different way, but they're not scary. The scary thing is that you don't know what's going to happen. But these people have dealt with women in so many cases, and it's a better route than to living the rest of your life in that chaos where you're shrunk. You can't even do the things that you enjoy. You don't know who you are. You can't enjoy life. You can't breathe. You can't walking on eggshells all the time, man. It's not good for your nervous system. You'll start to have health problems. You'll start have my I started having migraines every day. I was popping Advil like it's freaking candy. And that is a no bueno. That's not good for you. Your nervous system cannot relax under those circumstances. Narcs are truly attracted to people that are still in survival mode. They can figure that out within 3 questions, and they can smell you. People, I'm telling you, they know because from the first interaction you're with a narcissist, they are studying you. They're studying your body language. They're studying your tone of voice. They're studying what you're telling them. They're studying how much you're going to tell them. If it's your vulnerabilities and weaknesses, trust me, they will 100% use that against you as a weapon every single freaking time. Um, so there's programs in other cities elsewhere. Um, for the number and the resource, I don't know if anybody needs this, and you can always Google it. This is the hotline, domestic violence hotline for I think this is the national one. It's 1-800-799-SAFE. So that's 7233. It's 1-800-799-7233. Or you can text START, the word START, to 88788. They will help you with safety planning, emotional abuse, shelter resources, um, local programs, relocation options, confidential support, and you don't even have to be ready to leave to call. You can just call to ask questions. You know, there's no commitment. Nobody's going to make you do anything. That behavior sounds predatory. They absolutely are predatory. They're like animals sniffing out their prey constantly because you know a narcissist always has to have constant supply. It's either new supply, old supply, pending supply. They are always, because in here they have nothing. They are hollow beings. They have to get their validation outside of themselves all the time because they don't know how to self-regulate. They don't know how to self-soothe. That's why when you get with them, they mirror you, they study you, and it's just like a script. They are studying you like a script, and then they are the director. They want you to fall into line. They want you, they think in black and white. When you first meet a narcissist, you are all good. You are up here. The minute you start questioning them, the minute you have a hurt feeling by something they did and you talk to them about it, no matter how kind you are, no matter how soft your voice is, no matter how you word it, now you're over here. This is the white, this is the black. That's how they see. They categorize people and put them in two different boxes. There's never no gray in between here. It's one or the other. Um, Everyone will need structure once the narc is removed. Narcissistic people work diligently to destabilize you every second of the relationship. Yep, they do. I would rather be alone than unhappy with my narcissistic family. It's impossible to be around abusive people. I so relate to that, Angela. Same here. How many of you had to cut off everybody? Those of you that got out of the relationship, I had to cut off pretty much my entire family because it's toxic. Like the cycle has to end somewhere. And I'm so glad it ended with you, Angela. Be so proud of yourself because it's not freaking easy. It's not easy when you're healing and your eyes are open and everybody around you is asleep. And it is the most lonely period. But at the same time, you get a sense of power every time you stand up for yourself, no matter how, if you're standing alone, standing up for yourself, no matter, because the smear campaign, it's going to feel like the whole world is against you. But if you keep standing up for yourself, every little time you do that, you are building brick by brick, you are building yourself back up. That light that's in you is going to come back. And it gives you a sense of empowerment that I can't even describe. It gives me chills every time I talk about it because it's awesome. It's not fun work, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. It's better than staying with a narcissist the rest of your life and being dwindled down to nothing and feeling like you're not living, you're not breathing, you don't know who you are. You have to look to the narcissist for how am I supposed to feel today? Everything is based on their behavior. Are they going to be the nice narcissist? Are they going to be nice today? Or are they going to be mean today? And it's no way to live. It's really no way to live. So yes, it's based on my t-shirt, y'all. It's better to be alone than to wish that you were. I, and it's so true. I'm not joking when I say that. Um, I guess that makes sense. Narcs are grouped with cluster B along with sociopaths and psychopaths. Yep. And even if we don't have a label, we don't know exactly which one they are. Toxic and abuse is abuse and toxic. Period. It doesn't matter. If someone is invalidating you, if someone is making you feel like you're crazy, if someone cannot talk to you and take accountability for when they hurt you and they tell you you're too sensitive. Oh, we're going over this again. Oh, why can't you move on? If they dismiss you, all of that, it's toxic, period. There's no need for it. It doesn't matter about the label. Think of narcissistic people as serial killers. They love your diminishing. Yep. Thank you for your kindness. You are wonderful. Thank you, Angela, and thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing everything, everybody for being here. They put your life on hold. They absolutely do. Mm-hmm. Yep, they put you on hold. So back to the phone call. You don't have to be ready to leave to make the phone call. Just to check out resources, ask questions. You can call because you're confused. You can call if you just need someone to talk to. You can call because you're scared. It doesn't mean you have to make a decision. Just because you just need, it helps just to have someone to talk to about what your options are will make you feel better. And I just want to say something too. If you're still there, if you're still surviving, if you're not ready, there is no shame. Been there, done that. Healing doesn't have to start with leaving. Sometimes it starts with awareness, that observation, not explaining things to them over and over. It starts with finally saying, this hurts me and I'm not okay with this. And that matters. And I'm curious, what do you think has been the hardest part for you guys? Anybody in here that's still under, you know, in the same household with the narcissist? My my nickname for my alcoholic covert narc is Satan Spawn Cluster B. Yeah, I think we all have names for ours, huh? Yeah, I used to put his number in my phone as Satan, but now it's deleted and gone. I don't have it, don't want it. Yeah, however we can deal and remind ourselves that we don't want to go there. Give them whatever name. Hopefully they're blocked. If you get to that point in the relationship, and you can leave and finally be free. But um, what's the hardest part for you guys? Anybody in here that is still, under the same roof as the narcissist? What's the hardest part? The confusion, the fear, the guilt, finances, kids, starting over, the loneliness. Katie says, reclaiming my autonomy. Yeah. And you slowly rebuild that. You can start now. Like I said, I don't know if you guys missed it earlier in the live. I was saying there's small ways to build your autonomy, your sense of self. What do you like? What foods do you like? What music do you like? What movie do you want to watch? Where would you want to go if you took a trip? Asking everything about yourself because the narcissist does not care and made you feel like you were nobody, unruly peasant, good one. Oh, for the name in the phone, or the nickname for alcoholic covert narc. Yeah. Yeah, and we have to have some funny things to deal with this. Um, when you're with a narcissist, because you just have to laugh sometimes. Laughter is good medicine too. Like watching comedies, that was the way that I dealt with it before I left. I'd go to comedy shows, or I would just look it up on YouTube, different comedians, funny animals, stuff like that, because laughter is good for your nervous system too. And the nickname she used. Yeah, that's a really good one. Anybody else have the nicknames? So, well, maybe you guys are thinking about the answer to that question. What's the thing that you are most and thank you for the hearts. What's the thing that has been the hardest part for you still being in these dynamics or even after the relationship, because some of these things can still happen after you're gone. You've left it. The guilt, the finances, the kids, the starting over. You didn't waste your years. Your partner fumbled a chosen one. Yep, that's an awesome way to look at it. They fumbled you. Yep, absolutely. So what leaving mentally actually looks like. This is another thing you guys can do. I think people imagine leaving as packing bags, but for a lot of survivors, leaving starts quietly, you know? Let's go back to what I said before. Not arguing back, secretly researching, emotionally withdrawing. You guys probably don't sleep in the same bed. I remember I'd sleep on the couch a few times, or I'd stay in my bed and he'd be on the couch. imagining your piece, journaling, watching healing content, comedy, noticing the patterns, and writing everything down. Writing everything down is a big deal, especially because they gaslight you and you learn to doubt yourself. Like sometimes, even today, I'll go back and look at journals or little notebooks that I jotted things down, and something in there will jog my memory of what happened with him. I was like, oh, damn, he really had me doubting myself. So you can go back because until you start trusting yourself and what you see and what you went through, it's going to take a minute. That's why writing things down is really helpful, or put them in your notes. I don't like journaling as much, writing as much. I don't have time. So I will use the notes in my phone, you guys, or if you can use the voice notes. I have a voice recorder thing that I use all the time, and then I can go back and listen to it. So document all of it because you can see also your growth when you get out of this situation and I look back at stuff, I'm like, wow, I think so differently now. Yes, gray rock after the relationship. Exactly. 'Cause that's all it is. Um, so the healing content, noticing patterns, what else? Here's another thing. When nobody tells you about staying, people don't talk enough about how lonely it is to stay. When you have to hiding, pretending, the isolation, second guessing, grieving someone that's still alive. Did anybody feel lonely inside that relationship? I'm going to give you guys a minute to answer that before I move on. Divorce was finalized in January. Woohoo! Yay. The hardest part is I'm completely destroyed financially, lost my home, car, and was a stay at home mom, so no current work history. Currently 57 years old and homeless and jobless. Man, that is rough. That is so much to go through. My heart goes out to you, man. Thank you for sharing that. That is not easy. Wow. I'm processing that because a lot of people go through that. And yeah, you get destroyed financially, emotionally. You could sometimes lose everything. I went through that too. And I'll be 59 this year, so we're the same age bracket there. That is rough. That sounds incredibly painful and it's scary. And that's what keeps a lot of people trapped for too long, and they just don't think they don't see a way that's possible to get out. And I remember thinking that. How many of you, the ones that have gotten out, how many of you remember thinking, wow, this I'm never gonna get out of this? It just feels like Groundhog Day over and over. It's just complete hell. Like, how do I get away from this? Because breaking the trauma bond is so hard. And then when you put financial fear on top of that, like stay at home moms that haven't worked because they depended financially on the narcissist, it's extremely terrifying and it can make people freeze inside that situation. That's why I am gently encouraging you to call the National Domestic Hotline. It doesn't mean that there's something like he's physically hurting you or punching you at that moment. You can call them for any time that you're scared because being with the narcissist is feeling like you're trapped, like you are in a prison. I remember that feeling, and it is such a scary feeling. So you don't have to be ready to leave already. Call those people. You don't have to feel alone. They know they've seen millions of women that have gone through this and they can brainstorm with you. You don't have to be stuck in this alone. Go back up. Did you see my answer? You may have to go back up. Staying for my child destroyed what was left of my self esteem. Yeah, and sometimes I thought this at one time. I'm going to stay for the kids so they have some stability. But there's nothing stable inside a toxic, abusive household where the child is seeing that the two parents don't care about each other. They don't even hug each other. They don't talk with respect. That's not modeling anything but toxicity for that child. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you were able to get out of that. Yeah, and it will completely destroy your self esteem. If I had to do it all over again, I would have slowly, quietly prepared to leave the relationship years ago. What was it like for you when you did leave? So I'm guessing that you had to tell them. All women's shelters consider emotional and verbal abuse as domestic violence. Yes, but I want to ask you guys a question because this is what I thought, and this is what a lot of men and women, and especially this came out of the narcissist's mouth that I was with. He said, when he had to take the domestic violence classes, he said, no one was abused here, but I guess we got to get through this class because they think that if they didn't hit you, that it's not abuse. And that is so wrong, so beyond wrong that this goes so much deeper. Like the most dangerous kind of abuse, I believe, is the invisible kind because you can't prove it. The judge can't see it. Police don't see it. It's the worst kind. And the covert, these narcissists know that. So they're able to destroy you without a gun, without hitting you, without putting any marks on your body, without blood, without anything. And they can completely destroy a person. People have ended their lives and not been abused in that way physically. I think that the emotional, the annihilation is insane. Yeah, women's shelters, remembering really hating my new blank canvas. Once you see beyond that narrow feeling, you will pick new colors to repaint your portrait. Yeah, when you get out of it, you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Who am I? But you can find her, I'm telling you, as living, breathing proof that you can do it. Healing is possible. You can get out. There are ways. You're not alone. You don't have to be alone. The narcissist wants you to believe that you're alone, that you're never going to get help, that you can't live without them. They don't have to always say that verbally, but they will make you believe that by the actions and the things that they do, make you believe that you cannot do anything without them. That is a lie. Know that that is a lie. And healing and getting out is possible. Lots of women have done it, and you can do it. And you have lots of support here. Abuse is more than bruises, just like cheating is more than coitus. Yeah, that's another thing. How many of you here with the narcissist, the one that I was with, he thought, well, there was no penetration, so therefore I did not cheat. Let me tell you, anything that makes you feel violated and disrespected because they are doing with the opposite sex is cheating. Them flirting with other women, them going through a dating site saying, oh, I was just looking. That was his stupid excuse. I was just looking because uh, some of the pictures that people post, I wonder, that's terrible. How do you think you're going to get a date like that? I'm like, mofo, I see right through you. That's not why you're looking through that. You don't give a crap what pit. He was looking for supply, plain and simple. So they will water things down, make them look innocent. Oh, I was only doing this. I was only doing. No, the writing on the wall is you are looking for supply and you are cheating on me. There's lots of different ways to cheat. Excessive, unnecessary hugging, overly friendly, having people's numbers in their phone. It's not just a friendship. That our bodies tell us before. You can sense deception. Your body knows it before your brain does. Even before there's any proof, your body knows, you can feel it. It's not you being paranoid. It's not you being insecure. They are giving you a reason to be insecure because their actions are screaming, I'm doing you dirty here. I am doing you dirty. You will know it. And then they'll explain it away because they want to keep you confused. And so you'll doubt yourself. And then they know this. They know this, so they keep on doing it. They'll keep on cheating. They'll keep on going on the dating sites. They'll keep flirting with women in front of you. Or if it's you're with a female narcissist, they'll keep flirting with men. Sorry, I gotta take a drink. Yep. So cheating is way more than just sexual intercourse. You know, if you're looking at dating sites, if you're flirting like that, if they're undressing women in front of you with their eyes, those are all signs. It's blatant disrespect. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Oh, my light is going out. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel disrespected, makes you feel not okay, they should not be okay with it. Instead of making you feel bad or saying that you're insecure, that's BS. Because someone that truly loves you is not going to make you feel that way. Narcs project their personal feelings of themselves onto you. Yeah, everything is a projection with them because they don't know who they are, let alone like who they are. They might put on the act like they love who they are and they're so confident and everything like that. Trust me, it's an act. All of it is an act. My sicko narc would give out his cell phone number and talk and flirt other women in front of me and our daughter. Wow, it's so disgusting, isn't it? Oh, don't you look back at that and you just want to barf? Like they are so bold, and once they know they've got you worn down enough and they can get away with that stuff, and you keep coming back, they'll just keep doing it, and they get worse. Yeah, they will never say no to supply either, ever, ever. See, what else was I going to talk about here? Gotta look at my notes, y'all. Narcs are supply sexual. They take energy from anyone or anything, men, women, children, especially their own, and animals. Yeah, don't put anything past a narcissist. Nothing. They will never turn down supply, ever, ever. I remember the narcissist I was with uh, last, the 7 year one. Right off the bat, he told me he was not going to stop talking to his so called female friends, AKA supply. He told me right from the get go that he wasn't going to do that. So here's another thing, the grieving before the ending. Sometimes the grieving starts before the relationship ends, the loss of hope, the emotional abandonment, mourning the fantasy, mourning their future faking, that you were going to get married or whatever they promised you that never came to fruition. You have a grieving process. It's grieving somebody that is still alive. And it's somebody that you didn't really truly know. You found out that they were just nothing but a facade, with their lines in the script. That nothing about them was real because they're chameleons. For each supply that they're with, they're going to act a certain way because they mirror us, right? So they're gonna like the music that new supply likes. I saw those red flags right away. I could tell when he was talking to another supply. He wore this certain shirt over and over for like 4 days in a row, and I'm like, what the hell is up with that? Because he was not like that. Then he started listening to different kinds of music. I'm like, I've never heard you listen to this before. You can tell there's little signs that they're trying to mirror new supply. And they'll have a different language, different way they talk, different music, different things they want to eat, whatever. You can pick up on all those little things. They're mirroring the new supplies, what they're doing. Because they don't know, the narcs don't have a sense of self. They don't have any freaking clue who they are. So that's why they're always reaching out for validation from somebody else. It's why they will never say no to supply, ever, 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 ever. Whatever they can get as supply, they will take it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. So you mourn the fantasy, you mourn the future fake in the life that they promised you that you're never going to have because they had no intentions on carrying that out. They know that no relationship is going to work. Eventually, it's going to fail. Narcs will use their own children as weapons and deliberately work to alienate your children against you. Currently going through this with an adult child. I am so sorry. And they will absolutely do that. They use everyone in their life. They don't care about their kids either. They don't care about anybody, really. They just use everybody for supply. And it's really sad because the kids suffer for that. It's the same things that they put everybody through. And the ex narc would use big boy words to impress new supply. Yeah, it's funny how it would take him a long time to. I would see him text message other people like his sister, and he'd try to use all these big fancy words. I'm like, why don't you just say what you got to say? They always try to sound so smart because they're really not. And then I want to go back to the children thing, like, and that is so painful when they use children like that, and the adult children. They brainwash them, and I can only hope that our children, the children, when they get old enough, will open their eyes. That's what we can hope for. My spouse's oldest son from his first marriage died in March this year. My spouse's oldest son. My daughter told me how he was flirty with women and talking about women with men at the funeral. Oh my gosh, a funeral at all things. It's really disgusting because they can't, they have no empathy to see, okay, I am at a funeral parlor. This is not appropriate. They don't put two and two together. It's all about what can I get? They're so thirsty and hungry. They do such inappropriate things at an inappropriate time at a funeral parlor. Getting supplied a funeral parlor. I can't even say it. It pisses me off so bad that how disgusting they can be. They just have no morals, no values, no nothing. And he's 76. Oh my gosh. Some of them never grow up. They never freaking grow up. Wow. They are disgusting. Sorry, you guys. I got itchy mm, pet hair up my nose and my animals all over everything. The word salad. Narcs are disgusting turds. Yes, they are. I am so sorry that that happened. And oh, so did anybody grieve before it officially ended? Those of you that are out, or those of you that are in, whoever, are you grieving now while you're in it still? Or did that grieving come after? I know for me, it kind of came and went throughout the relationship, you know, uh, because I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I kept trying, like, maybe gets it. You're holding on to that glimmer of hope, the potential. You think that they have potential. Zero tolerance. Why have women been weaponized against men? Because this goes back to when they're brought up, when they're little boys, they're taught not to feel, not to cry, not to, suck it up, be tough, grow a pair, whatever. It starts there. And that's a whole other live in itself, and I have videos on that too. About it, it goes back to generational trauma. That's how narcissists are created. Grieving knowing that it's my own family that preyed on my downfall. That is so rough, honey pepper. My heart goes out to you, and I know that experience more than I care to know. You're not alone in that. It's rough. Yeah, grieving people that are still here is the most it's hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever been through, and I think a lot of us have been through grieving people that are still alive. Yeah, men created the patriarchy to keep women oppressed. Exactly. And that's where it all starts, with the generational trauma. How boys are raised is sickening. Like, even coming down to like letting little boys play with dolls. I don't see anything wrong with that because, number one, it's letting them practice being a father in the future. So little boys are shamed for not even, they can't even play with a doll because they're made fun of. I mean, it starts with so much stuff. Zero tolerance. What are you saying? Why have women been weaponized against men? I don't know if they're still in here. Grieved during the last year before he discarded me. I was completely shut down, almost zero function. Yeah, that sounds really hard. I can absolutely see why that happened and you shut down. because it's all our hopes and our dreams, and we're thinking that somebody's on the same page as us. When we come to find out that they were faking it the whole time, it takes a lot out of you. It's rough because you're like, who was I even with? Everything was fake for them. Everything was a performance, all of it. Women don't have to face real accountability. Why are you saying that zero tolerance? What makes you say that statement right there that we don't have to face real accountability? What are we not facing real accountability for? They just make up a bunch of BS. What BS are we making up? Do you know what this channel is about? This is about narcissistic abuse. Narcissists do not take accountability for anything. Blaming others. How about calling somebody out for their behavior? They're not all our problems. What do you know about narcissistic abuse? Zero tolerance. Do you know how it works? Do you know what narcissists do to people? Let me tell you something. If we can take accountability for what we do, like we know how to say, sorry, I did something that hurt you. I'm going to work on this so this does not happen again. If a woman can say that to a man, but a man cannot say it to her, who's taking accountability and who's not? If a person can take accountability and make the actual changes and apologize and actually mean it, who's taking accountability and who's not? A narcissist does not say those things. I'll wait for your answer on that one. How is taking accountability putting all the blame on the men? How is that BS? I'll wait. Let's see what else I was going to, while I'm waiting for you. All right, let me move this over here. Okay, I'm still not getting an actual solid answer from you. I'm saying if women are able to take accountability and say, what I did was wrong, how can I make it better? And they actually do the thing to make it better, but the narcissist cannot do that. How is that bullshit? A relationship has to be a two-way road. Chat, are we done yet? I don't know. Let's see. I'm still waiting for a good response. No good responses in any of those questions. He totally dodged them all. I can see Katie. Katie's blood was boiling. See, there was no like solid answer there. It was just pointing the finger, pointing the finger, pointing the finger, letting them talk for now. Need a little education. Yeah. Notice he couldn't answer any of those questions I asked him. Thank you, Katie, for taking out the trash. But now, if anybody feels comfortable and wants to share a part of their story or where they're at, you're welcome to come on. You can go grab that link. Oh, how did he come back? He came back. How did he come back? It's never going to be because the government has incentivized giving up on your convictions. Okay, why are we talking about government right now? I was waiting to say bye, bitch. Okay, guys, I'm not wasting time on this manipulative zero. Clicked on their pic and blocked. Good for you, unruly. Hidden by Deanna. Thank you, Deanna. Good job, you guys. My moderators are awesome. Okay, so like I was saying, if anybody feels comfortable and would like to come on the live and talk, even if you just want to say I'm struggling, that's okay. There's no pressure. I know some of y'all are hiding in bathrooms, bedrooms, cars, or listening quietly. Um, that's okay. I know this topic is heavy. Sometimes listening is participation too. So while I'm waiting to see if somebody would like to come on, what is the one thing you wish people understood about why leaving is so hard? I'm going to give you a handful of questions, whatever you want to answer. What made you finally start questioning things? And what's something you normalized that you look back on differently now? Here's another one. What do you think kept you stuck the longest? What helped you reconnect to yourself? Is that how he came back? Because you guys blocked him and then he came back. I wonder if he had like a second account or something. He was like, "Pop, I'm back." Oh, we have one in every bunch, don't we? But they make it fun. You got to laugh. You got to laugh because the accountability is lacking within. So that's it, you guys. That's the questions I have. If you guys want to talk about anything else, whatever, I don't know what you've missed in here. I can go back over stuff. If you want to come on and talk, you can go inside on my YouTube, go on the post tab. It's pinned to the top of that community, and you can grab the link inside there to come on here and talk. That would be great. I'd love to see your face. If you don't want to show your face, that's fine too. I understand. There's no pressure. I just love getting you guys on here and like hearing your voice or putting faces to names. If you want to put your face on here, that's fine. But if not, I guess I can just recircle back around or just make it a free conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. Thank you, Deanna. Wild honey. Yay. Let's see. We have better luck this time. Hi.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
See, that's
Yeah.
because I'm closer to the router. I'm upstairs now, where the narcissists
Yay.
reside, but they're not here,
That's
so
so
I'm so
awesome.
happy.
I am so happy for you. You got a chance to breathe. You can be in whatever room you want to be in your house. That is so
Yes.
awesome. So,
Ah,
how are you doing? What's been
breathe.
happening? Yes.
No, I'm just enjoying the breath of fresh air. That you know what it's like. What do I call you, by the way? Do I
Yes.
call you Shred in Silence? I never knew your name. I just know that this lady
Oh,
is identifying with me. I know she's feeling what I'm feeling. Apparently, she's living with me. I just don't. Maybe she has cameras in my room somewhere.
it's Glennis. My first name is Glennis.
Do I call you Shred in Silence or Glennis?
Huh?
Do I call you Shred in Silence or Glennis? Which one?
Whichever one you like is fine with me.
Shred in
Some people
Silence.
can't remember my name, so I'll just call me G or Shredding Silence or can't connect again. Katie, are you trying to get on? Okay,
Somebody.
some people are trying to get on here. Okay, unruly peasant. So if you go to my page, you know the tabs where it says like shorts, videos, lives, you go to post and that'll take you inside the community. And I pinned it to the top. So you go inside that first comment and grab the link at the bottom of that. And then I can let you in. I think we can have like 2 or 3 people in here. That'd be awesome. We can just get some good talk going. I'm so glad to see your pretty face. Yay. I was so bummed
Thank you.
last time.
I
I
love
was
you
like,
so
dang it,
much.
why can't I hear her? I love you too. I love all my community here. You guys have been such a wonderful group that we're forming here. You know,
Unruly
can't come into
peasant.
ladies having Deanna, go to her channel. There's community
Yeah.
option. Honey Pepper, Legion in the Bible. That's why narcs. Honey Pepper, look up the Legion in the Bible. That's why narcs all behave the same way. Can you share some more about that, Katie? I don't know about that. The Legion in the Bible. So what else has been happening? How are you like
Hmm.
dealing with your situation? Any
Just hanging in there. Like, you know, the narcissist has such a heavy presence that you don't even have to be in the same room with them. Like, I am in the basement. But and I could move around freely. If I want, I could come upstairs and move around freely. The kitchen is upstairs. I have to eat. You could tell I love to eat. I could move around freely, shred in silence, but it is their presence just in the back of your mind, knowing that it's this
mhm.
negative energy that could just
Yes.
pop off anything at any minute. Anything could be a problem at any moment. You just don't know. And it's going to be your
Right.
problem. It's that what I
Right. So
can't deal with.
your nervous system's always on alert. You're always like walking on the eggshells. Yeah, that's a it's a horrible place to be. Uh-oh, what happened to our sound again?
You can hear me?
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Now you came back. I don't know. It was like you
Yeah.
were underwater for a minute, but now you're back. I can hear you good. Yeah,
No,
that's an
I
awful
was
place
just
to be.
asking you. I was agreeing with you when you say it was like walking on eggshells, and I was just asking you in agreement. And who could live like that? Always on eggshells all the time. This is not how we were
Yeah.
meant to live.
Mm-mm. No.
And
And
it's
it's not good for your nervous system. You know, your nervous system, you'll start getting headaches and feeling sick to your stomach. And some people get, health issues, like severe health issues from it. You know?
shred in silence. You don't understand how sick I have. I came up here in my early 30s. I prematurely grayed. I wrinkled early. I put on a ton of weight. I came down with something called Quinkie's disease. That's when the uvula in the back of your mouth starts swelling.
Oh, wow.
Autoimmune diseases that I never heard of in my entire life. My digestive tract issues. The plethora, and I'm sure there's things that I'm not even aware of that is going on
Hmm.
internally. That if I was to get a whole body scan and health scan, they will be asking me, "How are you still alive?" I'm pretty sure they
Right.
might be asking me that question.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Things that we're not even aware of. It's very disturbing, how much they really affect you.
It's the
Yeah. And
blame
I get that
shifting.
about,
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead. Go
what?
ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I didn't know you were
No.
speaking. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's sometimes it might be a delay, so it feels like we're talking over each other. So I'm sorry for that. It's just how
Fine.
technology is. But when you were saying like you can feel even if they're in the next room, it's just that bad mojo. Like the ex narc, he's in the same city that I'm in. We're in a small city and he's here. I know he's here lurking, and it's just that uneasy feeling, always looking over your shoulder, when they going to pop up, like you said, like what's going to happen today, what are they going to bring up, because anything it is, it's your fault, you know yeah, it's no way to live at
And
all.
when living
And
with them with that type of energy, it really regresses you. Like you feel like you don't have the energy to accomplish nothing for yourself. It's like this it feels like this weight is bugging you down. It's hard to get up. It's hard to be productive. It's hard to move. It's hard to think. It's hard to do nearly everything that comes so natural to you, because it's like the only thing infesting your mind and your brain is how to deal with this person who is a menace in your life.
mhm,
It's
yeah, because
like
it's a no-win situation.
it
It's like no matter what you do, no matter how you say it, it's never enough.
you'll
Never.
never win.
It's
It's a zero
it's
sum game.
no win. No
No
win
win.
situation.
No win. And this is with your family. This could be with a spouse. This could be with a friend. This could be with a child. This could be with literally anybody on the job, in your religion.
Yep.
It's the silent pandemic. I call it the silent pandemic, and nobody recognizes it except us, the
Right.
people dealing with
Yeah. The people that are awake. Yeah, yeah, it's going on. You see it everywhere. It's so crazy. You see everywhere you freaking go. The people that are asleep, they still believe the narcissist, or they follow like a sheep. The government. This could get into all kinds of crazy conversation, but it's everywhere.
Uh-oh. I hope I'm
Narcs are
not
a walking
interrupting.
manifestation.
Yeah.
Sped up my menopause. I didn't even get the perimenopause. Unruly peasant. Did you find it? Did you find the link, Unruly? They silently ooze contempt for you. You can literally feel their hatred for you without them ever saying a single word. Yeah, that look. Living with them feels so heavy. It's actually a demonic spirit oppression. In some cases, it's demonic possession. Yeah, spiritual warfare,
A
because they
walking
don't act like
manifest.
humans.
Somebody said in your comment section, Knacks are a walking manifestation of cancer.
Walking manifestation of
Of
cats.
cancer. That's what yeah,
Ooh,
Katie. I agree with you on that. Somebody said the
yes.
Knacks fed up my menopause.
Uh huh.
They didn't even get to be in premenopause. I agree. These
Mm-hmm.
people, they do a number on your health. Your health is going to take a hit for sure.
Yep. That's why we got to work on our nervous systems. Even while you're there, like, I'm so glad you got this piece today. And go outside, get fresh air, because it's a
Yeah.
constant job. You know?
Yeah. And without taking up too much more of your time, I just wanted to say this last thing that, I when you were talking about getting back to yourself, shred in silence, I kid you not. One day, you know me, I love makeup. I love girly stuff. Sometimes I could be rough around the edges, but I promise you, that's because I'm living with a narcissist. And sometimes I
Right.
just throw my hands up in the air, forget it. I just
We
can't
get
put
it,
it.
girl. We get
I,
it.
you know,
That's right.
but I'm a girly girl. I love cute stuff. I love makeup. I love. One day I look around, shred in silence at myself, like, where is all my makeup? Who am I? Like, you would have never catch me without even one makeup eyeliner, maybe a shadow, some blush. I had nothing. I could not, like, think about myself, the things I like. They were, like when you're living with a narcissist, it's like you're in a tornado. Everybody
Hmm.
outside the tornado can see the tornado except you. Look, I'm doing this in front of my face and I could see you so clear. But people outside there are saying, get out of this tornado. You're in a tornado. But you not understanding
Hmm.
that, hey, you're not thinking straight. You're not looking after yourself. You're neglecting yourself. You're falling apart at the seams. You're doing this, you're doing that, except anything for you. I look around one
Hmm.
day and I was so shocked, shred in silence, that I know this sounds like a silly example, but it's
It's
how
not
you
silly.
get away. It's how they take you away from who you intrinsically are as a person. Not one stitch of makeup, and that was all during that
Yep.
time. They were financially abusing me, blame shifting me, guilt tripping me, word salading
Hmm.
me, the tornado effect. And I am
Yep.
like, I am lost, like, what what the heck is going on with,
Yep.
until one day I
Yep.
say, nah. I went, I became a Rouge member of Sephora that day. I dropped a bag because I'm like, where? It's over time. I was slowly losing myself and I didn't even know. It's only one day I look around and say, but who are you, Al honey? Where you don't you look at how you're looking, what you're not doing anything for yourself. They had
Hmm.
gaslighted my entire life and taken me away from the person that I know to be for so long that I didn't even realize that I wasn't being myself. So when you
Well,
get
that's
back to
good that
yourself,
you recognize it now. You recognize that about the makeup, and it's not silly. It's the small things that made you feel good about you that they distracted you from. So I'm so glad you recognize that, and
Yeah,
doing things for yourself.
yeah, because like you say, it don't matter. It's who you are that you never you catch yourself, you don't realize that you're neglecting. It's who you are until you look around one day and you realize. And this is over years. I shred in silence. You know it's over years this thing happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm a stop talking about Almighty now. Let somebody else come on, but I could talk to you all day
I haven't
about
got any invitations. No one. Someone wants to come on, but they're not in a place to be on yet. So there's no rush. If you want to talk some more, someone said you stay in constant survival mode, so you're unable to fully live life and take care of yourself. Absolutely. My former partner allowed me to keep my hair down. He would pull my hair out. So now I usually keep my hair pinned up.
mm,
So that's
mm,
like a trauma thing for you. Wow. But if
pull
you
her
wanted
hair
to,
out.
Katie, you can wear your hair down, like start slowly with that to wear it how you want. That's a trauma thing for you. Yeah. Found the link, not people just don't want the responsibility. Yeah. Um, what I was going to say about that, when you realize, I had a realization like that where you realize that, well, what about me? I remember towards the end of the relationship, he had signed up for this men's group. He signed up for this men's group, at my suggestion, and it cost $600, and they were supposed to be working on themselves, and because they'd all turned to the porn was an issue in their marriage and their
Yeah.
relationships, and because they're trying to fill an empty void in here and
Yeah.
seeking it outside. And so I remember one morning sitting with him on the couch, and I was like, wait, talking to him, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm sounding like his therapist. And he's not talking about my childhood stuff. I was just talking about his childhood stuff. And wow, that must have hurt you. And then the light bulb came on, and I'm like, I sound like a therapist. I'm trying to fix him.
Mm.
And that was a moment, just like you with your makeup. Like, what about me? Yeah, it's like, wow. I don't know if anybody in the chat have like a light bulb moment like that where you realize, where am I? What about me? Was there a moment like that for any of you? Yeah, it's crazy when those light bulbs come off.
And to your point,
You know,
Shred and Silence, they are people addicts. So they can never be
mm-hmm.
satisfied with one person. That is
Nope.
unheard of with anybody narcissistic. They are like
Yep.
mosquitoes. They need different flavors every single time. So this is the reason why narcissistic relationships are going to have an expiry date. And people are, oh, anything could happen to anybody. You could die next tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's like, no, no, no. You get with a narcissist, prepare for it not lasting. You are going to become a
Yeah.
single parent. You will. It's not if, no, if, buts guarantee.
Yeah.
You
There's
are
no ifs.
guaranteed to become a single parent. They are going to leave you. They never intended to stay with you.
Nope. Never, never, never. Yeah. And it's like the colander. I have an old video. I think I have a colander, and that's just how the narcissist, they don't know how to love you, they don't know how to receive it, they don't know how to give it. It just falls through the holes. The water, there's no sustenance of anything. And yeah, and they'll never say no to any
No.
supply ever, ever.
They
See,
live
what do
in
they
the
say? They make you their therapist. I forgot what I was going to say. This brain fog, man, it makes me so
it's
mad. Do
okay.
you deal with
Take your time.
brain fog? I had
What?
something on the tip of the tongue, and it's just
You
so
asking me, do I
frustrating.
deal with brain fog? It's come like you asking answers. The answer is yes. Do I?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. And it's funny you said that about the expiration date. That actually came out of the narcissist I was with last. He said he knows his relationships are going to fail. He knows that from the get go. But what's funny? Okay, here's what it was. I remember now. What's weird to me is like, especially like self aware narcissists that are married. I don't know if you know Sam Vaknin. You know, you've heard of him, right? And like Lee Hammock, I think is married. There's another one. I can't. Ben. Katie,
Taylor,
help me out. It's
Taylor,
Ben.
Taylor.
Ben Taylor. He's married, I think, too, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would I just wonder, I don't know the amount of years that they've been married, but it makes me think, what does it really look like inside of their household? How have those dynamics changed because they're
Yeah.
self-aware, like what because they can't feel empathy.
Hmm.
They have a really they can't take accountability. So how does that work? How do you stay married to a self-aware narcissist?
First and foremost, I mean, I commend them for being self-aware and going in therapy because that's not no
Yes.
easy feat, first
That's
of all,
rare.
narcissist. But I want to especially commend their wives because I am not even married to one, and I get down on my knees and pray every day. And thank God, thank you, God, that I never made that mistake. Because if I can't even deal with
Right.
a relative that is one, the enormous strength of these women, I just want to interview them. I have a ton of questions because I really don't know how you survive it without the vocab we now have. Back in the day when we
Right.
didn't know anything about it and you were surviving that, oh, I need to interview you from A to Z to find out how you're still coping with.
Yes. I would love to do that or just be a fly on the freaking wall in their house and like see like how are things different because you're self-aware.
Yeah, you
Because the
know
what
how much strength it
I would think
takes
they
to
have
deal
to
with.
be. What's that?
I said, do you know how much strength it takes to last with a narcissist? I
Yeah.
mean, to last with them, you know.
My thought is like, tell me if you feel like this. Like they have to be dimming themselves somewhat still, even though they're self-aware.
Well, yeah,
Because how
because you
much
see, what I think, Shredding Silent, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did I cut you off? If that, I'm
it's okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine.
Sure. Okay. Well, what I feel if you're asking me, Shredding Silence, is that they are in therapy and they have been in it for quite a while. So they, I've heard one of them speak before. I don't know if you know him. His name is Mr. Leon R. Walker Jr. He's a self-aware
Yes.
narcissist. They are able to kind of catch it and, like you say, maybe dim it or kind of maintain because they are self-aware and they know how their behavior will affect relationships. So instead of letting it run rabbit, like I don't have no empathy for how this is going to affect you and this and that, they can very well come on and teach us what's what when their life is in shambles, right? So I feel like the being in psychotherapy, that's just my personal opinion. I sure the silence don't ask me. I just feel this way that the psychotherapy is probably help. I feel like they need it for the rest of their life. They need this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Lee Hammock, I think he's been in for 7 years now with therapy. But I just really I just really want to be a fly on the wall because, when we see them on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, they're polished, they're in front of the camera, they're acting, appropriately. But when
The
they
mask,
have a
the
situation at
mask is on.
home,
The mask is
right, when they have a
probably on.
situation at home and they're being triggered, I really want to see how those dynamics play out.
I
I'm
feel
so
that
curious,
therapy
and I know
helps.
I'm not the only one.
You know,
What's that?
of course, you see Lisa Sunny. Lisa Sunny is
Yes.
somebody I love because she people like to call her feminist this and feminist that, but I'm only bringing her up to say that I feel like it's a Lisa Sunny type situation because women are being educated so much today, shredding silence. Look at me, I'm not even married. Let a narcissist try it. If I was just try one time, okay? And I'm not putting up with that. So the women that are married to narcissists, I feel like they have even more insight on that type of behavior, what to put up with, what not to put up with, even though there is a lot of stakes in a marriage as far as property, children, blah, blah, blah. I feel like they have a much better insight because marriage dynamics change things, right? That they
Hmm.
know how how to deal with, how far to take it before they put down a major boundary. And these knacks know
Hmm.
that not to play with their wives in that way because this is not 1901 AD. This is not AD. This
Hmm.
is 21st century where people are being educated. So with that knowledge, yes, narcissists are learning just like we are learning, but they know not to play any games with none of us. Our
Hmm.
voices are getting louder. Don't try it. We're putting down boundaries and
Hmm.
we're following through with them. So try
Yes,
it if you
yes,
want
we
to.
are.
Try it.
I wish we would have had this years ago. Could have saved a lot of us a lot of heartache and misery and jacked up nervous systems. you know, I am
Definitely.
so grateful for the channel and the awareness that's being spread. And hopefully, we can save some young women from making these choices. Hopefully, they're watching and getting educated on it too.
Yeah.
So,
With that being
yeah,
said,
I wanted to read this.
sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to read this one comment. I thought somebody said unruly peasant said about brain fog and brain damage. CPTSD has actually been scientifically proven to be caused by chronic verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse. Physical abuse does not always have to be present. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that because we're definitely feeling the brain fog. I know I get it all the time, and it could be something simple. I made a video about it a few months back. There was at work, there's it's called a pallet jack. And I couldn't think of the name of the damn machine. I was calling it the machine thingy, and it's a pallet jack. Like it's little stuff like that. It's just so frustrating. The
Yes.
the brain fog. The good news that my former therapist said it's due to something called neuroplasticity that we can actually heal our brains and nervous system. Yeah, I've heard that too. Unruly. And then if you like learn a new language or you do like puzzles, crossword puzzles, putting puzzles together, learning a new instrument, it kind of helps with the brain fog. It kind of kicks your brain back into wiping those washers, the windshield washers, the fog that's on it.
Hmm.
Memory loss is a huge side effect. And some things we probably don't want to remember, you know, some things we probably
Hmm.
push down on purpose.
It's not easy, even though we have all this knowledge that we're learning, nobody should ever mistake it that, oh, because we're being so educated now, oh, I know how to deal with a narcissist. And it's not easy. You don't want to have to.
No.
I wanted to make that clear because I know I was saying, let them try it and all of that. You are educated, yes, and you know. But if you're in that situation, you are going to have an uphill fight. It's not anything where, okay, that is gaslighting. Oh, you're blame shifting. Oh, your word salad. And you might recognize it, but remember you're
Mhm.
dealing with it. And it can take a toll over time. So please let's not minimize it as if it's something that just because we're being educated that we can handle it. These people, if you could even call them
Yeah.
people and not anything to
I don't
play
call
with.
them people. No, 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 they don't. Because normal human beings don't do the crap that they do. Some of the crap that they do is just straight out evil. It's evil. There's no other explanation for it.
And you talk
And
about the grieving. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, no, I'm done. I'm done. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Go ahead.
No, because you were
The
saying
grieving.
about the crap they've done, and you said and you were gonna continue saying something, and I just, me, I always popping off at the mouth.
That's okay. You're good. Go ahead. You were talking about grieving.
Yeah, because that was in your notes, right? You spoke about that, right? When let me, you could bring up things from your notes, shred in silence, because that's my jog my memory on things that I wanted to talk about. Because I wasn't here for the beginning of your notes, but I remember you talking about grieving these people that are still alive. Just imagine it's your
Yeah.
family, you know. It's a next level pain when it is you have to come to the realization that, hey, I am going to have to go no contact with this person who I previously loved prior to understanding narcissism. How am I
Hmm.
going to take everything that I know, that I love, that I understood, to now throw away while this person is alive and never speak to them again? That
Hmm.
people don't understand shred and silence. They don't understand. That is
I,
something.
I understand. It's hardcore. It's very hard. You know, a lot of people think, healing after you leave the narcissist, like things should be great, right? But no, that's where the real bullshit starts to happen, because you will lose a lot of people. You'll have to cut people off, or people will cut you off because you're no longer the person that you were when they could manipulate you or get things out of you. And a lot of people don't like that. Or you have to cut off a relationship because you have to the bleeding, like that other person doesn't want to come to a resolution. They just want to fight with you. They want to be right all the time. They have to one up you. They don't want to come to a level surface right here and do the connection and come to resolve. So you have to cut them off, and that's absolutely the most painful thing when you're going through the healing process. I agree. I've had to do it. Cut off pretty much my whole family.
Yeah, mine
Is that
too.
what your experience is? You had to cut off your
We
family?
have family. We have family of five, and I just made a video that's going to premiere tomorrow. The only person I consider out of my family of origin, because I am, I make up the fifth one because I'm in there somewhere. So I'll say four. The only person I consider family of origin, family to me, out of the four of them, is my brother. And you all, if you all want to know why, you all have to listen to that video tomorrow. But shred and silent. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to promote myself. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not
No, it's
doing that.
okay. I want to see your video. I'm looking
So
forward
people
to
think
it.
that
Yeah, we all support each other here. This it's not a competition or anything like that. We're here to spread awareness.
came there. And what I want to say, shred and silence, is that most of the time, whatever they're doing it on purpose. Huh? They're doing it on
Mhm.
purpose,
Yes,
and that's
absolutely,
the
100%. Let's see, Jade, unruly peasant. Oh, this is another one that I should have put on your little toolbox when you're still living with them or you still having to deal with them, because honestly, we're going to have to deal with narcissists the rest of our lives because they're everywhere. Hopefully we won't be living with them one day, the ones that are, and when you get out of it, but they're at work. They're your neighbors, they're family, you're going to always have to deal with them in some ways. So Jade, Jade, don't justify, don't argue, don't defend yourself in verbal argument. Don't explain yourself over and over. Narcs feed off and enjoy our reaction. Our reaction is their source. Yes. And go no contact. Block their numbers so you can heal. If you're unable to go no contact, then learn about Gray Rock when communicating with them. Absolutely. That's great. Thank you for sharing that in the chat. And that goes along with, you're observing them rather than participating in their shenanigans. It's like you're watching a movie. If you can put yourself in that mental space, okay, I'm watching this clown perform in a circus, because that's what they are. They're clowns trying to provoke you for a response because it makes them feel better. And it's so hard to do because, like, this is how what helped me. When people like that guy that came in the comments earlier saying that women blame everybody and, the projection that they give, it used to piss me off even more. But it's helping when you exercise that muscle and you're observing rather than participating in their silliness. Um, you strengthen that muscle all the time. So I tell my friend, my best friend, I'm like, bring on the haters in the comments because it's giving you practice of how to deal with that, how to observe their behavior. Because most of the time they are projecting onto you. And that's what that guy came in earlier that my moderators had to block out. He was projecting, that all women blame all women get away with everything. All of it's a projection because he couldn't answer one question that I asked him at all. He just skipped right over it, like just kept pointing the finger, women this, women that, women this. Okay, tell me why. There
Yeah.
was no
In agreement with you. I would agree that you have to learn how to respond instead of react, because
exactly.
when you learn how to respond, that means you have thought about it, and then you have
Mhm.
lack of emotion in your voice, because any emotion
Yeah,
in your voice at all is supply for them, and that's what they like, either negative or positive. It doesn't matter
positive.
what type
Yeah,
of supply it is, and they mostly like negative supply too. So when you're speaking to a narcissist, you have to be very brief, very matter of factly, and very
hmm,
monotone, because
very
any
boring.
slight emotion in your voice, that's going to feed them. And they're ready to
Yeah,
trigger you more because they are antagonistic type people and they are going to antagonize you.
yes, they love it. That is their fuel, all of it. And I got brain fog again.
It's
I got
okay.
brain
Take your
fog.
time. Take your time, shred in silence. I know what
Uh,
that is like.
oh, here's what it was. It was about a video. I think I posted it last week. It was called the spike strip method, where you know how cops they throw down spike strips to stop a
I
car.
remember the shot you
Um,
did on that.
yeah, what you just said about pausing. You when they say something trying to get under your skin, and you count 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Do not do not react. It's learning to slow down, take a breath, and say, okay, I see what this clown's doing. And you just look at them and say calmly, can you repeat that? And then I tried this and it worked. And he's like, oh, you're using one of those tactics from, I think it's Jefferson Fisher. He's a trial attorney. I watch him all the time. He teaches about communication. And I took that and I was like, that is freaking perfect. He teaches you how to deal with narcissists, gaslighters, liars, all of that. So I thought that would be a perfect video, and it worked. It throws them off because they want that speed. They want that reaction. They like your
Yeah,
emotion. They want
yeah,
to intimidate you, all of that
yeah,
stuff. So but then at the same time, when I made that video, I wanted to maybe warn it's not to fix the narcissist, it's just a tool to deal with them because somebody said, well, they're just going to come back and say, well, are you retarded? Are you stupid? Did you not hear me? Some might come back with that, So really, it's just seeing the patterns in them and how their tactics and what they do, but it's not to fix them. It's just more of a coping tool and maybe not how to deal with them as much. It doesn't always work in every situation because some narcissists are a little bit more, they might be more overt, a little bit violent. They get angry if you don't respond, kind of thing. So you have to really use your discernment on that. But what you're saying about the pausing is absolutely the best thing that you can do, and not reacting, and it takes a skill because man, they push your buttons and your blood is boiling and you're like, you mofo. You
yeah.
just, they make you.
But when you realize, like you said before, the petulant child they are, and you can actually see it in action, you just like, This is me, eh? Because I've seen, you know, the pushing at the table, the slamming doors for no reasons or cupboards, the just anger out
Right.
of nowhere, the just bad energy with all of your calmness, with all of your bright shining light, with all of your happiness. When you
Mhm.
have the knowledge and you just realize that that is their temperament. You're like, do I even need
Yeah.
to engage this?
Like, are you for
What
real right now? Are you for real?
what? And you just turn away and you go and you continue with your peacefulness and happiness, and then going outside, stamping door, turning, being huffed up and puffed up. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You did
Yeah.
not. This is their energy. This is where they live, the third dimension. Shame, guilt,
Hmm.
back down to shame, guilt, and something else. Not to you always say, you must. She's a good person, but they're very shame based people. They down here. You up
Yeah.
here,
Push it
and
down,
they down
suppress,
here.
suppress. Yeah,
Yes.
suppress it, push it down, and then it comes out like a volcano and they're puking all over you. Let's see what helped me stop reacting and defending myself, especially screaming and him, was therapist told me that sometimes narcs secretly record your reactions to use against you in court or show friends. Absolutely. And then they'll act all calm and say, "See how crazy she is? See that?" Family to set you up for future discard and proof that you're crazy or the abusive one so they look like the victim. Yep, I hear about them all doing that. They play from the same playbook, punching holes in the wall, Katie said.
Mm, 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 mm,
Yep,
mm.
same playbook. Like, because they're children. They're stunted emotionally. They never grew up past a certain age, and they're just children in adult bodies, overgrown children. Pretty much.
No,
You're
it's
dealing
true.
with a toddler. It's called baiting. Yes, baiting you. Yep, they're fishing for the emotions. Man, I'm so glad I'm not in that no more. Oh,
And the narcissists, they
it's
need you more than they need you. They have
yes,
a
they need us.
special, yeah, they need somebody there with them that they can always feed off of, or bully, or get some sort of supply. A narcissist cannot be by themselves. They cannot
Nope,
be shut in
because
silence.
then their thoughts overtake everything. They can't handle all the thoughts that come to the surface when they're by themselves. Like, yeah, the ex I was with, narcissist, always had to be busy. Like I remember all his clothes being so neat and like, man, how much time do you have to do this? Because he would always had to stay busy, always, always, always. Because and if they are alone, that they wind up drinking or something like that, to numb out, kind of thing.
They will
They
either
have
be on the phone,
nothing
they
in
will
here.
be, yeah, they'll be on the phone, they will be addicted to something, some kind of something,
Porn,
you know.
pornography, dating sites,
They can't
all of that.
regulate. They can't regulate themselves.
They need us for that. Yeah, they need us to
Exactly.
regulate themselves. Narcs want to bring you down to their level when them becoming angry at you for behaving like them. Yeah, they don't like their own medicine. They don't like to take their own medicine.
So true.
No.
So true. And somebody mentioned before, I think it was unruly peasant. They abuse the legal system. They are so versed
Mhm.
with it that a narcissist wants to drag out the pain, your pain, as long as possible. They will go as far
Yeah.
as the current unruly president abuse the legal system, which is
Hmm.
it's so
Yeah, they
wild to me.
absolutely
Like,
do.
yeah, the lies. How can they lie so bad, shred in silence? How do they know how to lie? Like, I don't
Because
understand.
they've learned it from a very young age. They learned it at a very young age and it worked for them. And so it's just like breathing for them. They don't
Mm,
even think about it really. It just comes so naturally. That's why it looks like they're so good at what they do. Like people believe them. And even, the gaslighting, like they even have you believing them. You can have solid proof in front of you. And the way that they put it so confidently, like you even doubt what's in front of you.
yes, you like, and it makes, you know what? It makes me so angry, especially as an adult. Like, I am a smart person. I am intelligent. How did this go over my head? Like, why
Hmm.
did I not see this? Like, and the thing is, you're seeing it, you're calling it out, you're in it because you're gonna feel it. Your body is gonna tell you, your mind is gonna tell you,
Hmm.
you're in it, but they're making you feel like what you're saying and what you're calling out is not real. And then that start
Hmm.
messing with you, not to mention the cognitive dissonance they put in between that. So coming to the realization now and understanding what I've been through, all the cognitive dissonance, the rage bait, debating like your community is saying, all this kind of blame shifting and all of that, it makes me so angry. Yes, it does, people. I'm sorry, I'm only human. As an adult, to understand that, why did I let that happen? But it's not I let it. I don't know, short in silence. I just don't. It's
It's
so
because of
bad.
the cognitive dissonance, how they kept you so disoriented. And narcissists don't pick dumb people. You're not dumb just because you were with a narcissist. They pick intelligent people and they wear you down so much with the cognitive dissonance because you've got two different conflicting things going on here. They're the nice person or the mean manipulative person that's going to leave you. And you're trying to make sense out of two different things that can't coexist at the same
Mhm.
time. And so you're in this state of confusion. And that's exactly where they want you because then you're easily to manipulate. That's why. It wasn't that
Like
you're not
my,
a smart person. We're smart
she tell,
people. It's just that
yeah, yes.
it's it's like Play-Doh. It's easy to manipulate you when you're confused all the time. And that's what they
Yeah,
do.
she tell me she don't want me living here. When I first come up in my 30s, because we had to come up to get ourselves legal, like we were finally getting legal and our papers scored, so we had to come up. I came up in my early 30s. The minute I come up here, like I didn't know I was the scapegoat all my life. The cycle, it's shredding silence. I kid you not. It was like falling right back into a pattern that has always been. I mean, when I tell you falling right back into a pattern, it was like the pattern was going on even though I wasn't there. Because you see,
Hmm.
I am the scapegoat. They have always hated me. They don't like me. They have always just I was always the target. While I'm going about my regular business, they are in communication. I'm not communicating with them because I finally get a break from them. It's not that at that time, it's not that I was angry or anything with them. It's my body and my mind just felt a little bit free. So I never felt no need to reach out to them to communicate. And they would reach out to me periodically and we'll talk, nice or whatever. But I had no idea that this is a dynamic, this is a system in which I sign up for something that I didn't even know. So that when I had to come back from Trinidad now to meet them, the pattern that was already playing out, it was like I just fall into my place. Just like that. Like
Hmm.
I I didn't say it's like I fought, but and my body felt it. My mind felt I started to feel stress immediately. She said, I don't want you in here, I don't want you living with me. The cognitive dissonance. I'm glad to see you home. I'm glad you're back home. We need you around here. Get out. No, I need you back and push, pull, back, forward, push,
Hot and
pull.
cold, hot and cold. Yeah, the
I
hot
am
cold.
so confused. I'm so confused, Sean and Silence. And that was with everything. The tree could fall out in the yard and she almost tripped on the tree branch. You know who fault it was when I was sleeping late at night when the tree branch fell up?
Yours?
Mine. How is mine? How is my fault?
Wow.
Anything that
Right.
break, anything that
That's
happen in here is my problem. But all this time, I'm helping you. I working sun, rain, snow, sleet. I getting up all kind of hours in the morning, holding down 7, 5 jobs. Your golden child ain't doing nothing. Yet I'm always the problem.
right. The truth speaker always is. The people, the ones that notice what everybody else pretends isn't there is always the
See, I'm
problem.
And now that I see this, I get so angry because when I was calling it out and I know what I was seeing, I always used to say, this person is a leech. They're not doing anything. A leech is a parasite. A leech is a exploit. They exploiting me. I just didn't have the vocab to call it out to know what it was. Knowledge is power. When you know these things, you can take action. But when I
Mm-hmm.
don't know and I'm using whatever little vocabulary I have, they're making me think like I'm crazy. What are you talking about? Leech and what? Like or ignoring me or going about just doing their business, looking at me like you crazy. Like you get that feeling by the way they look
Yeah.
at you, by the smirk on their face. Like you know that what you're saying is making sense. You see him doing this. He will gaslight you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing. You're not seeing. But you are. It's just that we did not know. And this is what happened. Over a long period of time, we get taken advantage of. We never win at the zero sum game. And here we are, starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Having to rebuild. And it takes muscle memory and like breaking all those, the generational trauma, and actually digging out who you are, because your light has been buried and buried and buried over your entire life. And so you're afraid to speak up, but then we start coming on here. We make our channel. We listen to other survivors, and we're starting to come out and let our light shine. And it's just, we just got to keep going, baby steps, and keep spreading the word. Like when you said you're not trying to promote your channel, I have no problems with that. I want the word to get out. Everybody go follow her too at Honey Pepper. That's your handle too, right? At Honey
Yes,
Pepper.
yes.
That's how they find you. Um, because she's got good content. We all, for anybody who's not afraid to come on and speak their truth, I am supportive of all of it, because I know some of us are afraid to, because we think no one's going to listen to me, because that's what we've been conditioned our whole lives. No one's going to listen to you. Like you were just saying, they looked at you like you're crazy. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And we know that it's right. We know what happened. We know what we saw. We know what we're feeling, but they shoved us down and shoved us down. So,
And shred in silence, not only they look at you as you're crazy, now you have your friends, you're calling, you're complaining endlessly. Your friends are getting burned out because in their mind, you are talking madness. What kind of you could never be dealing with what
right.
you're
They
talking.
don't understand it. Yeah.
And
They
they
don't get
get
it. We're not at
burned
the
out.
same level.
Shred in silence. Okay, go ahead. On top of that, sorry, sorry, you're reading. Go ahead
No,
and read.
no need to apologize. You're fine. I was just reading some of the comments. I'm like
Go
multitasking.
ahead. Read, read.
Go ahead. Starting from scratch is better than offerings of the narcissist. Yes. Consistently blame you for inconsequential things to devalue and diminish you. Yeah, just like Honey Pepper was talking about. So eventually you begin to believe that you are the blame and cause for the relationship problems. Yep. Yep. They condition you, heavily condition you.
Inconsequential things to devalue and diminish you. And that is the point I was just about to bring out. Thank you, Unruly Peasant 3911. On top of that, what Unruly Peasant is talking, your friends are getting burnout, and here they are spreading a smear campaign because they always 5, 10 steps ahead of you. So your friends are listening. Your friends, huh? Your
Mhm.
friends in your phone book. and who you calling,
Mhm.
trying to get help
Yep.
from, because this person is trying to drive you insane. They don't
Mhm.
understand because they don't know anything about understanding narcissism, and neither do you. You just like you're
Right.
dealing with, and they are getting burned out. Suddenly, you're draining their energy. And it's true because they can't keep listening to that. Any kind of solution they throw at you, it's not working for the narcissist because they don't know
Right.
what they're dealing with. It's only now we know. I didn't know what I'm dealing with. They getting burned out. The narcissist spread the smear campaign about you, shredding silence, like weeks, months, years ago. When you
Mhm.
turn around, people looking at you as what? Okay, so the narcissist did say that this is what will happen, and you start playing into the narcissist narrative. So it's like you're according to you, you can't claw your way. You want to get out of this. You can't claw your way out of it at all. It's like what until the
Mhm.
narcissist turn around like a serpent that they are and bites the people who they turn into flying monkeys. Now everybody back. Oh, 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 that's what. No, I
Yeah.
told you who they were. You just
Yep.
didn't believe me when I was telling you who they were.
Yeah. Eventually they find out. Eventually they will find out. Yeah, but it's true. They don't know because a lot of them don't even understand what a narcissistic relationship is. They think that, oh, it was just a relationship that went bad or it didn't work out. No, it's a whole other can of worms, and they suck them in and then they become enablers. And yeah, yeah, I've seen it all. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's
madness.
and that's why we can't refer to them as people some most of the times because like who thinks like that? Who thinks about smearing somebody's name so bad, like 10 steps ahead, so that they play right into this thing? Who even thinks like who could think like I can't even fathom.
We
We listen to
yeah,
narcissistic videos from sun up to
yeah,
sundown
we
and
can't
still
we
can't
can't
understand. No.
we can't because our minds don't work like that because we can regulate ourselves. We can get back our sense of self, and they will never have that. That's why they do all those crazy things because it has to make them look good, look like the hero, look like the victim, because they don't have it in here. They have to put on an act. That's why I told my ex, I said, "You're in the wrong profession. You need to go to Hollywood and be an actor or a lawyer or something like that because you're so manipulative, and really they need to go to Hollywood."
Yeah,
Because
because
it is insane.
yeah, because short and silence, we have a breaking point. You see, if it is we did something that made somebody feel bad, we're gonna feel guilty about it, and we're gonna
Right,
catch
they don't have
ourselves
that.
and damn, they don't
They
feel
don't have
no
that.
guilt. There's no guilt with they don't feel nothing when they make. As a matter of
They don't
fact,
feel
they love
guilty.
what they
Nope.
just did to you.
Yeah, it's like, "Ooh, look what I did."
Continue,
Yeah.
and now it's like you say, it's like and now it becomes a pattern. Now you see the patterns with them, if you have the knowledge. But I really feel sorry for people who are currently going through this thing because with all this knowledge on the internet, do you believe that there are still people that don't know what they're dealing with? My heart goes
Yes.
out to those people. In this
And
day and age with AI, you are dealing with narcissism and you currently do not know what you're dealing with. It's crazy.
hmm yeah, people are dancing with the devil and they have no clue. That's why I'm so glad. Like, I just want anybody that can come on here and start a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel and just spread the word. I mean, even just make, I don't know, posters or something, just get the word out there because the it is spreading. People are becoming more aware, and I just really want to get it to the younger people too because if we can stop them, like I know we all have wishes. Like I wish I knew this 20, 30 years ago. How different our lives could have been. I don't how many in the chat here? I know we have a lot of Gen Xers, and I just get so angry that my life has been so wasted. But then I hear that the narcissist was put into your life to wake you up, to bring you back to yourself. Like we were a test for them and they were a test for us, but they don't ever wake up. We are awake finally, though. Thankfully for that, you know. Let's see. We're getting, oh, Giuseppe, welcome in. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, I figured out how to get you on here so you can talk. Anybody can come on if you go on to my page and go to the tabs and go to where the posts are. It's pinned at the top. You can grab the link in there. Anybody who came in that wants to talk. I can put a
Yes.
face to a name
That-
and we can get more than one of us in here. So while Honey Pepper's on here, you can still come on in here. So go grab that link and then it'll send me a notification. I
Please
appreciate your
grab the
content
link.
and your guests. So validating and affirming that we're not crazy. And thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here because we all need to be a support for each other because this is not some light stuff. This is some heavy duty crap that we're dealing with. And it's so nice to have other people to relate to. Like, we don't even have to say anything. We can just look at each other and we know that we get it, right?
We
I
know.
know that I get you. I see you.
Yeah. One of your subscribers is saying that they're shy. They probably want to come on, but they're
Hey,
shy.
Giuseppe, you don't have to show your face. You can just talk. You can like lay your camera down or point it at the ceiling. It'd just be really nice to talk, because texting is sometimes impersonal, and I just trying to get a little bit more connection between all of us. But there's no pressure. If you really feel like you don't want to, I'm not going to pressure anybody. I'm just saying it would be nice. Let's see what else. Did I miss anything else? And I got to run to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be back
Okay, go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
my when you get older, your bladder gets very small. So I don't know how to put a commercial on. So you can just watch my tiger there in the background. I'll be right back. I have to have a name for him. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, no, it ruins your life.
All right, that's better. Yeah, the older you get, the smaller your bladder gets.
Yeah.
So,
I
anyways,
wanted to tell you about the rude awakening. The way I started to learn about narcissism is I fell in love with a narcissist online that shall forever remain nameless. But I fell in love with this person. And I fully expected to be able to speak with this person at some point in time because their number was out. I made it very clear how I felt about them, and so were a lot of other people because this person was very handsome. Women were throwing themselves at them left, right, and center. They were in a kind of a separation thing, which I didn't know at the time. I didn't know they were still, that their dust wasn't completely settled yet. Because if somebody
mhm,
does not settle, stay far away from it, please and thank you.
right?
That person had to be
Yes.
completely and fully detached. And when I say detached, everything legally done. Okay? I mean, they
Mhm,
are no longer tied in no way, shape, or form. Paper, set things, signature, sign, everything. If that ain't the case, stay far. But see, I didn't really know about that. And by the time I found out, my feelings was already caught up in this person. So being the
mhm,
naive person I am, because I grew up very sheltered, I don't know anything about this type of stuff. I was hoping that, well, okay, maybe we can talk, maybe I can figure out some things. And out of the clear bluest sky one day, the narcissist found new supply. New supply. And if you hear the declaration of love they publicly announced for this new supply, I am like, But I have been here. I am here all this time declaring how much I love, my love for you, or how I'm feeling for you. Shredding silence. I tell you, that thing shook me to my core. People are like, but that was just an online thing. But no, I really felt deeply about this person. And I don't like when people are like, they presume to tell you how you should fall in love and how you should feel. You can fall in love at any time, any place, anywhere. You can fall in love with a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Right.
I felt very deeply about this person, and I knew how I felt. So when that person did that shred in silence, it shook me. When I tell you it shook me, it shattered me. I lost it. I really had to go back and figure out, why did this happen? How could this happen? And that is how I stumbled upon narcissism. By the way, they used to talk about it all the time because they were smearing their old supply in public, and they was, and by the way, when a narcissist call you a narcissist, you've won. Okay, you've won because
Yeah.
they realize they have no more straws in their tactic supply, their toolbox to pull out. So when I went back, I
Right.
realized that it stemmed from my childhood, and that is how I
Mm-hmm.
understood. That's not, but I was just agreeing with you. They come to wake you up. I was snoring asleep. I was snoring. I don't know what world I was living in before narcissism. I is there such a thing called La La Land? Because if it was La La Land, I was living in La La Land. Because I had no idea until I went back and stumbled. Now my eyes are so open. I see narcissism from 10 miles away. You can't tell me. I see it coming from 10 miles away. And I would never
Yeah.
go back
It's
to
like
La La
you,
Land.
right. It's like, wait, my friend and I call it Alice in Wonderland when you fall down that rabbit hole, and you can't see anything because it's so dark. But once you wake up, you can't not
Go
unsee
back.
it.
No, you can't
You
go
know,
back to.
and you just wish that you wish that you would have woken up earlier. That is one of the most frustrating parts about it. But now that we're aware and we know the signs to look for, and if you ever did decide to date again, but dating sites, I don't recommend to anybody. They're like a narcissist playground. They are
I
for cheaters. And I mean, you do hear stories about people that fall in love and they have good marriages, but that is so rare. It seems so rare. Like most of it
That been
is just,
happening so
you
much
got to
again.
weed through the cheaters and the toxicity. And yeah, the ex narcissist was always on dating sites, always on dating sites. La La Land is actually Delulu Land. What does it say? It's too late for me, but I learned about love bombing. And if they come on too strong, too early in the early stages for the relationship, for example, they say, I feel like we're soulmates. That's run. That's a
Run.
hell no. And I feel the way, Dr. Ramani, right?
Yeah,
Dr. Ramani is she's all over YouTube talking about narcissism. And I feel like her, like, I don't like charming men. Charming men
yeah,
is a big red flag to me
yeah,
because that screams narcissism. If you are too friendly and charming and overly helpful, like that's a no bueno for me.
yes, yeah,
Or if they say, I've never met anyone like you before. Exactly. Those are all the lines that we are like, no.
yeah,
Dating
yeah.
apps are snake traps.
And
Yeah,
they're
I'm
getting
sorry you
smarter,
went through that, but
They're not using the same lines anymore so much, and they're getting smarter. It's only those who not hip to it. They feel like they could win anybody, but they're upping their game now because they're learning just like how we learn. No. So the one thing I always tell people to look out for is two things, and I think Dr. Ramani mentioned the shredding silence. Two things you
mhm,
have to understand, and I would say always look. Dr. Ramani say number one, she say a narcissist, they are allergic to accountability. So they could come with a
absolutely.
million lines for you. Once they come, they could come with all they love bombing lines or whatever. But if they're not coming with that and they up the game, here's what you're looking for. Are they able to take accountability? Do they have empathy? You see them two things, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah,
They come with a
yes.
million lines. That's accountability
Yeah.
if they're not taking it. Blaring
Can they
red
take the
flag.
word no? Yes, absolutely. And can they take the word no? Can they take a
Yes, no.
boundary? Here's another one. Do they truly want to get to know you? Because here's another red flag for me, besides being charming, is pet names. When they say, "Hey baby, hey sweetheart, hey beautiful." That's repulsive to me. Like, don't go there with me. Like, are
Right,
you gonna get to know me? Like, all you see, open the book. There is more to
right.
me than what you're saying. Like, I am not your sweetheart. I am not your baby. Like, ask questions. Are they leaning in? Are they getting to know you? Do they know when your birthday is, what your favorite color is? Do they, or is it just love bombing and future faking and all that
Yeah,
stuff? Like, we can see it clearly now. Like, we got
yeah,
that radar going on so
yeah,
razor
yeah,
sharp. It's like,
yeah.
my
Because
favorite line
all
was, "You're my only number one."
Yeah, because all that baby and favorite number one and all those kind of stuff, that is when you're meeting their representative. You didn't meet the real person there. That's the representative you're meeting. The real
Exactly.
person
That's a good
mask
way to
will
put it.
come when that door shuts and the mask come crashing down on the ground. You're not going to hear baby. You're not going to hear you're my favorite one. You understand? So
Right.
that is why you have to understand that when they start with that, that's not the real person you're meeting. That's the mirror. They're mirroring you right now.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Katie says, "Don't bay me. I will come on next time, Glennis." Okay, Giuseppe. It's all right. No pressure. I'm just excited to meet my community. Shallow, cruel people. Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Charming equals charming snake. Run the hell away, block and delete. Yeah,
Your
they are the
community is too
best of
funny.
liars. They believe their own lies.
If they do again, they believe. So if they believe their own lies, you think it's anything for them to lie to you? If they believe their own
Nope.
lies?
It's like breathing for them. It's like breathing. They don't even think about it probably half the time. It's just like walking and talking and breathing, and
But that's one
it's
of the biggest
insane.
things for me. If you don't have no empathy and you cannot take accountability, man, I'm putting you through
Yeah,
those ringers. I want to see, are you able to, and according to you, short signers, are you able to handle the simplest word in the English language? No.
right.
Can you
No,
handle it?
it's it's a complete sentence, and you don't need to explain why. It's just no, no.
If not, nah, 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 nah.
No, 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 no. Yeah, it brings up another. I've been really big on this. It's just a lot of people are choosing to stay single nowadays. It's just because there's not a lot out there. There's so many unhealed people, and it's just too draining. Once you find your peace, you don't ever want to go back.
No,
Like, if
yeah.
someone immediately, if they take your peace, I'm like, eh, bye.
Yes, because they come out to steal your joy. I was listening to Burn Beauty 2018 some time ago. I don't know if you know her. You know her?
What's her name?
Burn Beauty 2018.
I don't think so. Doesn't sound familiar.
What? You have to go and check
Unless
her
I'm.
out. Burn Beauty
Can,
2018.
can you put it in the chat? Because
I
maybe I'm
wonder
not
if I can
hearing
put
you
it now.
correctly.
I can't put it in
Test
now,
question.
but I will put it
Okay.
in when I'll text it to you. I mean, I will, I'll put it on your page, like I will tell you,
Okay.
right? But Burn Beauty 2018, and you've got to watch this lady. Like her story is one of the most compelling. But she was saying the other day that she was reading something on narcissism and she read that they come out to steal your joy. So this is something that they versed in doing. They like to, because a narcissist can't see you happy. They will make all kind of noise and everything just to dysregulate your peace, because once you happy, that It like it must be. It disturbs them for some reason. I was gonna say something else, but brain fog right now. So you have to keep talking. But yeah, you need Burn Beauty 2018 is a good one to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me catch up on these comments a little bit. Burn Beauty. Oh, Burn Beauty 2018. Thank you, Unruly. Let me
Yeah,
write that down so I'll look it up later. Burn Beauty. And she
yeah.
talks about narcissism, or is she,
She's into
what
beauty
is her?
a lot. She's into beauty a lot. But I mean, her story on narcissism, you gotta hear it. You got to hear this lady. It's like I just feel like, oh my goodness, like what?
Well, I'm excited to look her up. I'll look when we get off of this live and see what her story is. Let me see this test question for a potential date. What do you feel is the reason that your last relationship ended? If they lead with they were crazy or everything was the other person's fault, run. Yes, absolutely. And Giuseppe
Yeah,
says it's like paradise, Glennis, without her. I am so glad you guys have your peace, found your peace. Yes, it is paradise without them.
yeah. Whew. They can
Um,
They can really drain your energy, boy. And people think that, we're just spitting vitriol at the narcissist. We just want to be negative to these people. I am not a negative person. I don't want I am dealing with somebody that is trying to send me crazy. And if I didn't
mhm,
have this person around me, people, you wouldn't even hear me. I probably wouldn't even have a YouTube channel. I am not
mhm,
I am not. I love people. I'm not out here to spit no vitriol at people. I am trying to help you understand what you're dealing with. These people can alter the course of your entire life. If you don't know what you're
mhm.
dealing with, these people are going to mislead you. Isn't that worth telling you all something about? But you cannot speak on narcissism without speaking negative things about them because they are a
Right.
negative type people. It's not us. Why you? How can you look at me and be like, I want to be? I don't want to be. I could give you sunshine and rainbows all day if I'm not around a narcissist.
Right.
But be
Right.
around a narcissist, I have to tell you.
Or you'll have people come in and say, "Well, you must not be over it because you can't move on." And but all the projection and stuff like that, we're always going to get that because most of them are narcissists or people that don't want to see the truth or hear the truth, and they're going to turn it around and blame you. Like, "Well, why do you always talk so negative?" And blah 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 blah. We don't have time for those people. Okay, move on. Yeah, I didn't make you stop on my channel and read all my stuff. You can move on. They're not worth explaining it to, but the ones that are open to hearing it, then our message will reach them, and that's how you got to look at it, like screw those other people that just want to project onto
Yeah,
us. Let's see, you've been hurt badly. I've learned that narcs attach to us and are a form of spiritual attack warfare. They absolutely are spiritual warfare. They're like vampires. They suck away your happiness. Yeah, and they make you tired. They take away all your energy. They want to steal your light because they have none. They can't self regulate. They have to self regulate through you, through alcohol, through porn, through whatever supply they get. They just take,
mhm.
take, 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 take.
They are
But
takers. They would not. They are not. They are receivers. They are takers. They don't give. They don't give.
I have
They
to
would.
say something about that because the narcissist I was with would say, "Well, that's not true because I give you all this money. I helped you through trucking school. I helped you fix your teeth. I help you get your credit better." But they can use finances as a weapon. And I didn't know that. That confused me for such a long time because I thought, he's not like other guys that I've been with. He is very generous with his money. He does the dishes. He does, he doesn't I have been physically altercated by him, but for the most part, it was the verbal, it was the emotional, it was the gaslighting, it was all that other stuff. But he used finances to keep me under control because he thought I couldn't make it without him. So there's those kinds too. They'll be very, very generous. Like other women would say, "Oh, look how sweet he is. He got you balloons and flowers and stuff like that." And I'm like, this is transactional, lady. You have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
it's transactional. He wasn't giving it to me because, and he would just grab whatever, grab these balloons and grab those flowers. And it was always the same kind of flowers and never signing the card because it was a transaction, checking off the box. Look at me. Look at what I did for her. And other women would buy into it. Look, he's so sweet. He does this, he does that. He helps you with the money. He helps you around the house. He gets you flowers. But yet he's cheating on me, he's gaslighting me, he's on porn all the time, he it's not worth it. Like, they put on such a good show, and it's so frustrating because you know how they are, but yet everybody else thinks they're so wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
But
And in every narcissistic relationship, money is a very powerful tool. That is control right there.
oh,
Whether you
yeah.
have it or they have it, they see money, money is control. If you have it, they're gonna manipulate you to take it out of your hand. If they have it, they're gonna try to keep you under control with it. That money, that thing called money, if you love it, you in big, big trouble. Big, big, big,
Mhm,
big trouble. It is the love of money. Money is for protection. But when you see you
mhm.
love money, you're in a different ballpark right there. They could control you very
Yeah.
easily with that.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause they think you'll never leave if you're financially dependent upon them too. They think I can do whatever I want because they're not going to leave. They can't leave. They can't support themselves. They can't live without me. They think like that, that you'll always be there. And that's how narcissists think with anybody, that you're always going to be there. You're always going to come back. They can
Yeah.
always take you off of that shelf, when they get
Yeah.
tired of this supply or they get bored, because they get bored so easy.
Yeah.
I can come back to you whenever I feel like it,
That's what the
and
narcissist thought with me. When I came up
mhm.
off of that bookshelf, about 3 or 4 years ago, they ain't seen me since. Okay, because I'm not the
Good.
one that you're gonna play with. I'm not the one, especially when you send me down that rabbit hole and I had to catch my entire life. I'ma catch my whole
Mhm.
life and then go back to you for you to do what? Treat me 10 times at worse?
Yep.
That means
No,
I
thank you.
hoovered myself back there.
Yep. Right. I'm so glad you didn't go back. I'm so glad you didn't let them take you off the shelf. They use their generosity to make you feel beholden to them, to make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself, and groom you to tolerate their abusive, toxic behavior. Yep. Is this a mental disorder? What do you think, or is it just sadism? I think it's a little bit of both. Because they seem to enjoy hurting other people. That's a little bit sadistic to me. Psychology narcissism
Mhm.
falls under the umbrella of character disorder. So listen for those labeling also.
Somebody said
Yeah.
they believed that their covert narc was attracted to their low self esteem and vulnerability and previous relationship betrayal trauma. That's unruly pleasant saying that. If you
Mm-hmm.
have low self esteem, yeah.
Yep. I had that low self-esteem.
And
Because they
Katie's
can get with some
asking,
of the most like they can get with some of the most very successful, very intelligent people, but they're so good at the manipulation and what they do that they just get sucked into that. Because you would see, I've heard people talk, like psychologists. Some psychologists have got sucked into narcissistic relationships, and you think, wow, even them? And they fool psychologists. Like, did couples therapy for not a very long time. And at first, the therapist was on my side, because the first thing I said when I went in there, like, I can't believe how easy it's so easy for him to lie to me. Like, what he's capable of is scary to me. And at first she took that seriously. And then I don't know what happened in between that time. There was maybe 3 or 4 sessions. And then all of a sudden it's like a light switched and she
hmm,
was on his side. Well, when is this all going to stop? When are you going to forgive him? And I'm thinking, did he pay her behind my back or have a conversation behind my back? Like, what happened right now? because she was telling me to forgive him for something he never even said sorry for or even admitted to in the first place. That just really threw me for a loop because
No,
not all psychologists are self-aware with narcissists. They don't have the training, or maybe not the experience, or maybe they don't even know what the word for it. They're just book smart. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm out of here. I am out of here. This is no bueno. I did
I gotta
everything
tell
for
you.
her, so much more intelligent than her, but she brought me down to her level of dumb sadism. Yeah, they want to dumb you down, take your light, and they make you feel like you're dumb.
I'm sorry to hear that. We all have low self-esteem in some aspect, but we don't choose to harm other people for our anxiety. Exactly.
Right.
You understand? We not everybody have all this confidence in themselves, but we're not taking it, projecting, taking it. But shred in silence, I want to tell you something about that. First of all, there are, and to my great disbelief, that I really hope that I never run into a psychologist who is disguised, who is a narcissist disguised as a psychologist, because there are a plethora of psychologists out there that are narcissistic. And
Hmm.
with your knowledge, you're gonna, I feel like you're gonna be able to tell that this psychologist here, like I watch But She's Your Mother, this channel called But She's Your Mother. I don't know if you
Oh, I
have.
know that channel. I know that
Marnie,
channel.
yes.
Yes. Uh huh.
She gets plenty of, she calls them out left, right, and center. She don't play with them
Yeah,
at
I
all
love
at
her
all.
content.
Right. But
Yep.
to your thing about how they could, but also to your point, there are psychologists outside there that will easily also get manipulated by a narcissist. But let me tell you how the narcissist manipulated somebody who helped me. Just like the same thing with the psychologist who manipulated, who the your ex manipulated the psychologist. This is how they work. Let me tell you. So I had a the narcissist had threatened me, shred in silence. They had threatened me, and it was something with them and the golden child, and they was getting me involved in it. I had nothing to do with it, but they needed, these, when they cannibalize each other, they feeding off each other. They can't get enough supply. They look to get supply from something else, somebody who they could, in a narcissistic family dynamic, then the person who they could dump all their shame, their guilt, their everything on, right? So apparently the
Hmm.
narcissist and their golden child was having something going on, and suddenly they roped me into it, and all of this was happening over WhatsApp. So I don't know what's going on. I have nothing to do with it. When it is, I responded back, and I responded back calmly, right? I said, like the golden child, they wanted something from me. I think they needed an email, because remember I tell you we were trying to get legal up here, right?
Hmm.
So the narcissist golden child, because they don't communicate with me. They run things. This my whole story will have to come out one day. So instead of the golden child coming to me, shredding silence, to ask me for it, they wanted to show their power by making me come to them to give them something. If you need something from me, shouldn't you come to me for it? But you're going
Hmm.
through your narcissistic mother and manipulating your narcissistic mother, because you both manipulate each other to
Yes, the
get it from.
triangulation. Unruly
Right.
brought that up. Triangulation. They love
Thank
that.
you. I love a smart audience. They're listening. They're paying attention. I love it.
Yes.
Exactly.
This community knows
Triangulation.
what's up.
Right, because somebody has to feel important, right? And so it's the main
Right.
narcissist triangulating the both of us. So the golden child going through the narcissist to get the narcissist to get me to give them the email address or whatever. So I done peep game, shred and silence. I'm not about to. grovel to you. Oh, you send a message from me through WhatsApp. I send back the same message through right back through, because if you're using the narcissist as the middle person, I'ma send a message right back through them. Apparently, the narcissist, the main one, the mother who is, being wants us to be triangulated. They always have some issue. They old, they probably in the menopause, something mentally disturbing them or whatever. They're not in a good mood. But remember, this thing had nothing to do with me. I was on my own in the kitchen cooking my good food. All you send message
Right.
on my phone trying to get me to get something. Now, shred and silence. I could have easily cut the whole drama. You want something from me? Go knock on the door. Here, look.
Mm-hmm.
But no, 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 no. I know I'm tired. I'm not dealing with this. You want to play games? I have time today. So I send it back through. I send it back through them. They send back another message. And so we going back and forth through the main
Oh
narcissist.
God.
The main narcissist gets tired and fed up. And instead of taking out her anger on her golden child, you know who she come to take on the anger on? Me. I get watered. I get real mad. I was livid, livid, livid. I was not playing because I was on my own. I was cool. I was normal. I was good. Or they come and bring me and all they backing out. So I was real mad. They threatened me. Shred and silence. She threatened me over WhatsApp and tell me something. But I was waiting for her. When she come through, she meet a surprise. She wasn't, I can't tell her here because I don't want it, but she meet a surprise she was not expecting. She kicked me out. Get out my house, get out, blah, 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 get out. So I I pack my things and get out. I come into the story why I bring it up, right? Because we're talking about how them could turn other people, just like how your ex turned the narcissist, right? Eh, eh. I get on the phone, shred in silence. I call my spiritual leaders, right? Because I don't know who else to turn to. I get roped into something that I wasn't even looking for. I don't know how I get roped up into this. You understand? You and your golden child back and forth about how I reach into it. And then on top of that, you threatening me. You wasn't expecting what was coming. I call my spiritual leaders and I tell them the whole thing from A to Z. They say, hey, you have a choice to make. They tell you, get out. You did this, you did that. You have to find somewhere to go. They tell me call a couple people from my place of worship. I don't know anybody from my place of worship like that. This is a crisis. They tell them they're kicking me out because of how I reacted. My reaction, they was not expecting. I'm telling you, I didn't even expect it myself. I was a different person. It was like an outer body experience. The way I reacted, shred in silence, not even I think I could have reacted like that because I was fed up. I was tired. I was done. Remember, I tell you, I was living
Mm-hmm.
in a tornado all the time. Or
Right.
I come a time when enough is enough. So I called somebody who they suggested. When I tell you that person was there in a nanosecond, shredding silence, a nanosecond, it's like God sent them for me. When they come, they find out the whole story. When I tell you that woman stand up in my corner, I never see somebody stand up in my corner. So yeah, they say, well, while honey will be staying with me, she will be staying with me. This is how they talking to the narcissist. And I looking at her like, I just call you. I tell you what type of reaction I have, which anybody in their right mind with the kind of reaction I had, they might have say, nah, she's trouble. But I believe that God sent this person to save me. So in the meantime, I running downstairs, packing my stuff, running downstairs to get out and everything. They were upstairs talking to the narcissist, who is my relative, right? So I don't know if in that time, whatever the narcissist was telling them. But the long story short, I end up spending 8 months by that person who saved my life from this narcissist because it would have been bad. I tell you, it would have been a mess. I probably would have been dead or I would have been in jail. One or two things would have happened there. So that person kept me for 8 months. I can't live by the person forever, shred in silence. That person keep me for nearly, it was almost like they birthed me, like they rebirthed me, they made me over. Like I just, I was a little bit premature because I only stayed 8 months, but that person took care of me, shred in silence. They, she bought me clothes, she gave me peace, silence, everything I needed. When I tell you, I didn't know how much peace that I could have had with all the years that I was dealing. It was the and this was during the pandemic too. This was in 2020, so it was peace galore. I didn't have to work. I sit down collecting unemployment. Life was great. I was in a peaceful, safe place. I was getting cared for, nurtured. Life was great. I Dinas, I felt the most peaceful in my whole life, but I couldn't stay by this person forever. Come back. I had to come back here because, I had to be redirected to the abuser. And this is what I doesn't like, when you don't get help, because trying to get help in the pandemic was a whole nother story. But I ended up having to come back here. What I did not know was that all those 8 months that I was over there by that lady, the narcissist was working on this woman's mind. Even though this woman was helping me, even though this woman was nurturing me, even though this woman was caring for me, the narcissist was getting in her mind, manipulating her. So much so that when I came back here, she started to make very disparaging remarks on me. That when she came back here, and she was helping me get my room together. The narcissist kept mingling up and down the place. I'm saying to myself, well, why? Because where I am is where the narcissist lives. This is their upstairs area. I am down there in the basement. So they were helping me get, because remember I wasn't there for 8 months. So helping me get my room, everything together, and the narcissist walking up and down. You know this person, they just kept your child for 8 months. They kept your child for 8 months. You can't come downstairs and say hi to them. So I looked at her and say, well, I don't know why they acting like they can't come down here and talk to you or say hi. I not stopping them. I never stop them. And indeed, I never stop them shred in silence because they could cross your boundaries at any time. They don't respect your boundaries. So since when you acting like you have some type of boundary that you never respected? So I telling the lady that she could come down here. You know what the lady looked at me and said? Well, who would want to come in a lion's den? Me, a lion's den. You know me for 8 months. I stay with you. We never had an argument. We never had no disagreement. We never had nothing. You look at me and tell
Wow.
me, not only that, she's been saying she started to pick little fights with me just out of the clear blue sky, like little things like what the narcissist will do. She trying to twist them and turn them. And I'm like, well, you're not taking responsibility with this. And I start seeing a difference with her. I needed a place to stay because I can't stay in this narcissist's house. She knew she worked in the government. She knew how to get, help with Section 8 and all of that at the time. She knows that I need somewhere to be shred in silence. And she just all of a sudden, I used to call her all the time because we look for surrogate family when our family don't work out. So I considered her a surrogate mom. I started, she said you could call me mom, all kind of thing. And for a while it was like that until she started being manipulated by the narcissist. She just stopped calling me and all of that. When the narcissist, my relative, discarded me and her golden child left. I have nothing. She discarded me. She apparently called up the lady and say, hey, I need wild honey out of here. I she's a grown woman, this, that, the other. I don't have nothing. I don't have no, you just financially abuse me. I'm starting from scratch. You know that lady call up another friend of mine. This is the same lady who keep me for 8, 9 months, and telling the lady, look, I have a number for Wild Honey to call and get help with a police. But don't tell her that it's me that calling you to tell you that I'm giving you this number because you don't know her like I know her. The lady was like, well, what do you mean by that? Because she know me. I said, nice. She said, call her up while Honey loves you. And she said, no, you don't know her like how I know her. She's not a nice person. She kind of has a way about her. You don't like, it was so hard for me
Gosh.
to shred in silence when I tell you it was so hard for me to understand that this person who literally saved me from the narcissist has now turned into a flying monkey. I am like,
Hmm.
did narcissists have that kind of
I know
power?
it's mind blowing, isn't it? It's really
to,
mind blowing.
to this day, me and that woman don't talk. To this
Yeah.
day, we don't talk.
That's why I say it's spiritual warfare. Like it's some kind of voodoo magic stuff sometimes because you're like, what in the hell? What in the hell just happened?
Making up anything, anything I tell you there, straight in silence. I tell you the honest, and no exaggeration, no embellishment. Exactly what I tell you is I have no reason to lie about. It sounds like I was making up a
I
story.
believe you. I believe
I,
you.
I
No, I
cannot
believe you.
believe this.
Been
This,
there.
this, this woman who I love so much, shred in silence, that never do. I would never say up to this day. I don't have a bad word out of my mouth to say about that woman. You saved
Yeah.
me. I tell you, I tell you, I could have been dead or I could have been in jail with the reaction I had. And you saved me. And then you turn around and become a flying monkey. How that happened?
Yeah. It's so incredibly disabling. It's like the narcissist all over again because, she helped you and then she's all of a sudden against you. And you're like, what the heck is going on? Like,
When
yeah,
did that
really, like
happen?
you said, are they so good at what they're doing? Do you think they hooked up like sexually?
No, well, no, because they are baptized Christians. But what I think happened is that I was living with her for 8 months. And you know how the narcissist rewrites history, they rewrites
Yes.
narrative. So she was probably in the woman ear while I'm living with the woman and being my normal self. The narcissist would make it look like this is something negative, the way she acting, the way she. So this is what I'm figuring. Because shredding silence, if you ask me to this day, I don't know how and how they do it. How the narcissist was able to manipulate. This woman is smart, bright, brilliant. This woman, she knows her stuff. I just feel like the narcissist was using the fact that I was living there as an opportunity for her to look and say, you see what I tell you? You see what I tell you? That is how she is. This is, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then I don't know. She would not never tell me that she talking to the narcissist. How would I know? I enjoying my peace. I
Right.
going about acting my normal life. I'm not trying to disrupt her life, and she knows that. We watch movies every night. That time we used to be watching The Crown together. This woman was like the mother I never ever had.
Oh
I
my
was
God. That is
content
so,
I was
that is
content to
so
continue to
heartbreaking.
call her mother and be with her. She carried me to my hospital visit when I needed all my wisdom to take out. She was the first person I called. She did so much for me, shred in silence, that to this day it blows my ever loving mind that this woman turned out to be this way. It was. Mm. It must be some kind of spell because, like, what did you? Why didn't you talk to me? What? Can you not speak to me? We had so much good times together. What did I miss? What happened? What? I'm still lost. I'm still lost.
Katie says that that former friend was a narc also. They love to compete with each other. It's lagging
Mhm.
really badly.
I feel she
I'm
was a
sorry. Just
narcissist.
I don't know why it's lagging, but let me get through some of these comments. Even Satan knows the Bible. Yep,
Yeah,
narcs are the best preachers of the Bible. It's such a mind screw how they can turn people you trusted against you. I
yeah.
believe you. You don't get upset for her. She doesn't deserve it.
Hmm.
Everybody's saying we believe you. Their sex magic
I'm not
is from
lying.
the devil. Narcissists are master manipulators. She used your vulnerability against you. You look nice. Thank you, Giuseppe. Your narc turned your friend. She was totally gaslighting you. They're sadomasochists. They absolutely get a sick pleasure from causing other people relationship discord and arguments, soul sucking emotional vampires. They use someone close to you to put pressure on you and they manipulate that person against you. They use
Yeah, no.
triangulation techniques so they can consume emotional validation supply from both people that they are manipulating. And they are so good at it. That's what is mind blowing. And you think that somebody that's intelligent, that's your friend, that has your back, they know you, they know that you're not like that, but yet they get sucked into their delusion.
Huh. I mean to say, can you not see what the narcissist is telling you is not true? How can you not see it?
Yeah.
I am being my whole vulnerable self with you. I am not, I cannot. One thing you see me shredding silence, one thing I don't like is pretenders. I can't pretend. Yeah, I'm not going and pretend.
Yeah.
If I don't like you, everybody know that I don't like you. I would
Mm-hmm.
never be like pretend with this person to like you when when I telling this next person that I don't. If I don't like you, you know I don't like you, and everybody that I know I don't like you.
It's gonna
I
know it.
can't
Yeah.
I don't so I be in my whole self like how you know the narcissist lying. Had to be like somebody say in the comments that you have narcissistic traits yourself. And I just didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. This is why I say like I like unfiltered people because unfiltered people are going to tell you how it is. They don't pretend to like you and then go talk shit behind your back.
I
Like I
don't
really
I
like
could never be that way.
unfiltered people. Yeah, I will tell you if I don't like you too. I'm just like you are. Like I don't play games, but
No,
they play games. That's everything that they're about is a game.
everybody will
Yeah,
know me. I
it's
do not. I can't because I physically cannot be that way. I will trip my own self up if I try to be sneaky and lie about something with somebody. I can't. I physically.
it doesn't
I
feel
no.
right.
I know I can't think
Yeah.
like that. I can't.
Yeah, we're not built like that. Yeah, well, maybe she was a narcissist herself to begin with, taking somebody that's vulnerable and then turning it all against you in the end.
How do I know that? Because when my friend called me back now and say, well, she said don't tell her that it was you. Like what? So and so who I stayed by for 8 months tell you. You who I only know for about a month or so now and I know her forever. She told you not to tell me that it was her that gave you this information. Why? She says because I don't know her. I don't know you like she knows you and you act very funny. It's like I was hearing a different kind of like message. Like it wasn't the person that I lived with for 8 months. Like that couldn't be that person telling you that. What would? And
Mhm.
and
Like,
furthermore, as how would you not want me to know that it's information you're trying to help me with? You know I need someone to say, why couldn't you call me and tell me? Well, guess why she couldn't tell me? Guess why she went in silence? Because then it would become very apparent that she and the narcissist was in cahoots, because the narcissist sent me a message way before I even know that the lady was communicating with my other friend, and said a sister, because that's how they call them in the place of worship. Sister this, brother this. You understand what I'm saying? You know, in the church, they won't
mhm,
call you by your name, they'll call you sister this, sister that. But she didn't tell me the name of the sister. This is the narcissist, huh? Did not tell me the name of the sister. All she said over WhatsApp was, a sister gave me this information where you can find help to
oh,
get a place, right? So I don't, at this time, I don't believe nothing what the narcissist saying. First of all, if it's a sister from our place of worship, you would name the sister. You would tell me. You would not be um like in incognito about it, for lack of a better word. You would not be, you would say who
mhm,
this person is, because who gives you information? This is somewhere you're trying to live. You need to know who this person is. Are they able to be trusted or whatever? But the narcissist could not tell me who, because if they only tell me who, I would know that you're communicating with. So in order, I don't know what they're doing. The person who I stayed by, who now turned into a flying monkey, and the narcissist. I don't know what game they're playing, but one thing I know, the narcissist eventually overplays their hand. Everybody has to show their hands, you know. Everybody eventually has to reveal who they are. So the narcissist,
yep,
and in this case, they overplay their hand, because you can't tell me that you're talking to the person who I stayed by, and the person, they're too timid or whatever. I don't know what it is. They can't call me to tell me. So they go and they call my friend, who I don't even know for so long. I only know this person about 3 weeks to a month, because I just met them. And you saw me with them. You go and you call this person who I don't even know that well, to tell them you have a message to give Wild Honey. And furthermore, don't let Wild Honey. When me and my friend compare the information, it is the exact information over WhatsApp that the narcissist gave me. I was so upset that I didn't want to see it, but from what she was telling me, it sounded like the exact information, because I'm telling her, my friend, the narcissist told me this is a sister gave me this information to help me with a house. She said it's the same thing she telling me, this information to help me with a house. But I don't even want to see it, because I'm so upset, because you're saying that not to tell her is me. But I put two and two together in my head. Now I'm thinking back, I should have really asked her, let me see the message. But I have no doubt that it's the same message that was on WhatsApp that this person gave my friend. Because it sounds too close and too similar to not be both of them working. You just send me a message, said a sister gave me information to help you with a house. Then my friend, the person who you stayed by for 8 months, called my friend and telling them I have information to help Wild Honey get a place, but don't tell her it's me, because she acts funny. You don't know her. My friend calling me and telling me the person who you love so much and stayed by with is telling me don't tell you that they have information to help you with a place to stay. I say, but the narcissist just sent me information about this, and she didn't tell me who the person was. And we put two and two together, my friend, and two together, because by that time I was so upset. I said, I don't care. You keep it. You use it to go and help your friend or whoever, because they had a right to call me. They could have talked, they could have spoken to me. But I have no doubt,
mhm.
shredded silence, that that information was the exact same people. The only is that I didn't
Uh-oh,
know.
we lost her. Oh, there you came back.
Sorry,
I lost
sorry.
you for a minute. Now I can't hear
I
you.
know. I saw the circle move. Sometimes the only regret I have is that I didn't compare the information, but I have no doubt in my mind that it is the same information.
Now I can't hear you again.
Yeah.
Giuseppe, it's almost 3 o'clock here.
Oh,
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
realize
I
it was
lost
so.
you for a second, and now I can't hear you.
I don't know
I don't
what.
know what happened to our connection. But unruly survive emotionally in healthy relationships. They're causing the chaos. Yep. Oh well, I guess we lost her. But wow, that's an interesting story. How many of you here have been through that? The smear campaign with all their chaos, the instability in their relationships. They can't thrive without power and to cause discord. Turning people against you. Oh, here she comes back. Let's see. There we go.
Can you hear me
Can I
now?
hear you? I don't know if I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Not as strong as before.
Oh, well, maybe that's a signal to start wrapping it up anyway.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, but they cause nothing but chaos. Complete and utter chaos. It's just
Mhm.
like, I don't know. It makes a lot of people like really want to go into not so much isolation, but living in solitude, you know? It's like you don't know who to trust. It really, that is just a mind blower. They can hear us both, but I guess it's just on my end. I don't know if it's my connection or what, but thank you for sharing that story. And I am
No
so sorry you
problem.
went
I
through that.
always
That
wanted.
anybody like the smear campaign is insane what they do and how they convince people.
Thank you,
Narcissists are
Edna.
here to create hell on earth. And yeah, they do a good job at it, don't they? And it's good to get it off your chest. Thank you for sharing it with me. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
It's crazy. And it has
Yeah,
so much more where that come from. And
I
people,
bet.
so much
I
more.
bet. Wow. They just throw you for a loop.
A whole loop. You're like, what in the world just
And
happened?
that's why so many people like stay stuck in these dynamics because just like your story, they're afraid to reach out to help for help. Like, who do I actually trust? Because there's bad people everywhere. There's narcissists everywhere. Especially with people that hold positions of power, with vulnerable people like in the domestic violence situations that I had a good experience when I went to a shelter, but I'm pretty sure it's everywhere because they are everywhere. So the self-awareness that we gain is so helpful because next time, I don't know how you could have dodged that though. I mean, she was a lady that's in your church, and
She's still
sometimes church
there.
is the worst
She,
place.
she's still there. She's still
She's
there.
still there.
I don't know how to even walk past this woman. It's like I don't even know. I don't even know how to begin to even up. I don't even want to. It's like because in my religion, you have to make up with a person before you approach God in prayer. Because you can't have an ongoing kind of disagreement with your own brothers and sisters and then want to pray to God about forgive me for this, forgive me for that, forgive, and you can't forgive your own brother and sister. But God, this woman lied on me like, and it's acting like nothing. And as a matter of fact, one time I met her before I even knew what she was doing. She tried to project on me that I was the problem by saying that, oh, I love you, but we need to stop this. We need to stop this. And I looked at her like, what? You're the one that's not calling me. But I was already at my destination, so I couldn't really get into it with her. But now looking back in hindsight, I realized that she was doing this all the time knew that I was, because narcissists, they can sense when you're catching on to them, when you're picking up on what's going on. So they start to flounder. They start to like, like try to project, try to throw you off. They sent all how she tried to project on me, talking about we need to stop this, and I love you oh so much. Let me hug you. I'm like, what? It's you not calling me, not me. You the one. But she knew what she was doing all this time.
That's
So
crazy. So destabilizing. Yeah, I didn't even know it had a name tag for being a cruel fucker. Don't waste your time and energy thinking about them. It's embarrassing to admit you were with that type of person.
if again,
Wow.
and not know it. That's the thing. So all this time I
Mhm.
spend and watching The Crown and listening and enjoying movies with her. When she go in her bed at night, she and the narcissist on the phone. She went, "Yeah, this is what she did today. She do this, she do that,"
Wow.
and I sleeping like a baby, not knowing this is what's going on with my life. It's
Man,
crazy.
that's just
Makes you not want to trust nobody. It makes you
yeah. It
very, because you were vulnerable. I opened up my life to you. I could have sworn you was opening up your life to me. How you let the narcissist who you saved me from? I played the recording of the threat that the narcissist said to me on WhatsApp. You listened to it with your own ears. You heard how crazy they were. And you still turn around and be a flying monkey? I
I don't know. All I can say is that she was probably a narcissist to begin with, you know?
believe so. Because my
Maybe they
friend,
even talked before you went there,
yeah,
and it was all just a
yes,
mask.
exactly right. Because the person who ended up giving me the message, they were kind of like that too, and we just fizzled out. Sometimes some people just come in your life to help you with something, and then they don't stay; they just fizzle out. She told me that that person, you thinking your relative is narcissistic, that person is also narcissistic because I have been also observing them in the place of worship.
Hmm.
But I don't know because I live with this person and I adore this person. That person was never no way to me. That person built at when I tell you shred in silence, put my life back together brick by brick by brick by brick in those 8 months. And up to this day, I don't have a bad word to say about that person except what they did themselves. I didn't make that up. They did it. But apart from that, I have nothing bad to say about that person. Nothing.
That is so destabilizing. Just wow.
Telling you. You
And
think
we all
people's
believe
story?
you because we've been through this. We know how
Yeah.
they are. It's just I don't know. It's like they put people under some kind of freaking spell.
I don't know. When I listen to other people's stories and I thought mine was bad, I'm like, I am like, wow.
Yep, she made a deal with the devil, Katie said, and they love destroying people, just like Sam Vaknin said. And I cannot wait
Mhm.
until that freaking documentary comes out. Did you see
Yeah.
the trailer? What
Oh, I
Sam
haven't.
Vaknin says about destroying people. He said there is beauty in destroying a person. Sam Vaknin, he's the self-aware narcissist.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Professor Vaknin.
Yeah,
He's
he and
very
Dr.
intelligent
Ramani.
man, but he's very
Those,
scary.
yeah, those two people, I call them the
Oh, May
authority and
30th.
okay.
Is it on YouTube or Netflix or what, Katie? Have you all seen that in here? My community, have you seen the trailer for that, what's it called? Katie, can you help me out with the title? I'm getting brain fog again from
I
the
love you, my
narcissist
narcissist.
from the story that from the story Honey Pepper just told me. I'm like, oh my God, they just never quit. It's on Netflix. And what's the name of it again? The
I think it's
narcissist.
I love you, my narcissist. I love you. I love you, my narcissist.
No, it's something else. That's probably another one, but it's this is a new one. The Narcissist Playbook.
Okay,
Narcissist
okay, okay.
Playbook.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
and I'm
that one.
back to where I can't hear you. I'm sorry. So I don't if I
Okay.
interrupted or anything like that.
Mm.
Yeah, the Narcissist Playbook, May 30th on Netflix. I'm there. It's movie night. Bring the popcorn. Giuseppe, bring some pizza. I wish there's a way we could all get together at the same time and watch it. Let's see. They are sent here to destroy genuine people's ability to trust others ever again. These demons are assigned to us to prevent spiritual connection, honesty, and brotherly, sisterly love for one another. I was cooking away the last hour, made fried rice with Chinese sauce. Oh, you're making me hungry. Fried chicken nuggets and pierogi.
Mm.
When May 30th. I guess it's going to be on Netflix, Giuseppe. And yes, but
Mm.
they're not gonna come up here in the Shredding Silence community because this is where we connect. Like we had that one come in earlier and try to project onto saying all women do is blame and get away with stuff. And yeah, that we don't have that up in here. This is where we have connection. That's why we're finding our people and keep putting the word out there, keep giving people educating, telling stories like yours. I mean, that's real life head shit right there.
Yeah, that was my good.
They've
I
already
tell
had
you,
a
that was my
premiere.
surrogate mom. I say that was my surrogate mom. It still blows my mind to this day because I
Yeah,
am
that
so loyal. I am so loyal. I would have been a friend to that woman for life. I would have done anything for that woman, shred in
yeah, and
silence.
you thought you
That
had a
woman,
bond. You thought you had a bond and you were, getting to know each other and that's like, man, she just stuck a knife in your heart.
you
That I am so
saved
sorry.
me. You saved me, and then you turn around and do that to me. Like the gap between that, I can't. I don't know how to. I just don't know. I'm so confused as to what happened. Like it still hurts to this day.
And this is what I talk about invisible violence. When I've been promoting those, I want to make a follow-up to it of they were podcast actually, but I want to start to make a longer video about this is part of invisible violence. This is what makes people so screwed up in their head that they end their lives because it's like you can't make sense out of it. Like the betrayal
And
is so intense, and you have that bond with her, and it's just like you feel like you just been stabbed in the back and in your heart at the same time.
not to mention, I had to, it's not like if I came to her, shredded silence, it's not like if I came to her with a story out of a storybook. This was active, live crisis action. And I had
Yeah.
the receipt. I had the receipts. You heard the threat from the narcissist on WhatsApp. The narcissist recorded what they were trying to do to me when I had my reaction, what they were going to do. Because in order for you to receive a reaction from somebody, there had to be a provocation or a threat. So the narcissist threatened me on voice, on WhatsApp. You heard everything verbatim. You and my spiritual leaders heard the thing on WhatsApp, the threat from the narcissist on WhatsApp. So I didn't just come to you with a story. I was crying, bawling tears because this is a relative that threatened me in that way. You took me into your arms. You comforted me. You spoke words of comfort and helped me through this. You were truly a genuine person in my time of need at that time, but I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know how where it went that you could hear all of that, see all of that, and then turn around and look at me as the enemy. as as the person
Yeah.
who.
I don't know. It's something I can't wrap my mind around either. I'm just so sorry you went through that, and so many others go through, similar things. It's just like, I don't know, the narcissist reaches into their soul or something and injects them with some kind of poison, or
Mhm.
it's insane. It really is. That's their deadliest weapon, honey. It's empty threats. That's what
Mm,
Giuseppe said. Italia.
mm, mm.
Thank you, Glennis, for
Yeah, it
giving
was
Honey the platform to share her story and her experience. Yes, and once again, thank you for sharing that for everybody to hear,
no problem.
just how insidious they can be. It's insidious how it happened with you,
Mhm.
really.
It's a
Wow. I'm
doozy.
still like speechless. I'm like, wow, the damage they cause.
Yeah, because I still have to interact with this. This person is a sister in my place of worship. I have to, at some day, at some point in time, shred in silence, I am going to have to interact with this person. But I am trying to make my escape plan so that I don't have to. I'm trying to get so far away from here. It's not even funny. Like if I could go on the next planet, I'm trying to get on the next planet.
I know. I wish we could all go to a planet like Planet for Empaths and then just leave all the narcissists here. That would be so ideal and nice. It
Be
really
good.
would. And I'll be so grateful and happy when you're out of that situation. And
Yeah.
I just don't know what resources I can like
I'm working
look
on
for
it.
because you're not in America. So
No, I am.
I
I
don't know
am in
how.
America. I am in
Oh,
America.
you
But here
are?
is the thing. I'm in Maryland. But here is the thing.
Oh,
I am not a person that would give up on myself. I am a fighter. I am a survivor. And it don't matter how long it take me. I will never give up on myself, shred in silence. I am going to get out of this
yay.
situation. Mark
And you
my
have the
words.
community too, and I see it in you. You're such a strong, intelligent
Mark my words.
woman,
I'm getting out of this
and you will make
situation.
it.
Yes, I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out. I am now the exact, and now that I could see clear with my eyes, I understand very. I am getting out. Yeah, I'm getting out. Yeah. Long time I gone.
Let's see. Honey Pepper just help me realize my best friend in high school had to be a narc. My mother, bossy, controlling friend in school. Then I married one a year after school, and I'm done with narcs. Yeah, it
Mm,
really wears on you, and I'm sorry. Thank you for sharing, Deanna.
thank you,
When you've
Tom.
gone through a whole life and you can see the patterns throughout your whole life, you just like you don't wanna deal with it anymore. You're protecting your peace at all costs because
Of
it's
course,
like gold. You have to protect it like gold. Like, you're fine china. You don't want anybody to take that and come disrupt it because you work too hard to get where you're at. We've gone through too
exactly,
much. Yeah,
exactly.
never give up. Italia says never give up, honey. You've got your team here too to back you up. We've got the community. Empaths deserve a beautiful, peaceful island with good, healthy food and delicious drinks. Yeah, and real pizza that Giuseppe's gonna bring. And yes, that would be so nice.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, I don't know if there's anybody else that wants to come on here because it's like it's been over 2 hours going on. Gosh, I don't know. I've been on a long time, and I'm getting tired sitting here. I sit for a living for my job driving a truck. So
yeah, that could
anybody
be
else want to come
tiring.
on? Let me know because I think I'm gonna wrap it up in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Any
It
last
was,
things you guys want to talk about or share? Giuseppe's laughing. But that would be so nice. A nice island, stick our toes in the sand with our umbrellas and our little
yeah,
umbrella drinks and,
we need to
be
relax,
safe from any narcissist. An
You see,
empath
because
island.
they are disrupting we naturally are relaxed people, but they are disrupting our nervous system. So we just need a place where we could come back to ourselves. The narcissists, they are
Yes.
constantly in that state. That's nothing for them. That's who they are. They constantly dysregulated. We are not. So we need a place to be where we could regulate.
Yeah, and to let our nervous systems breathe and to be regulated more than a few seconds because they wanna come and destroy it, and then they can go, destroy each other and stab each other in the back and, gaslight, all the stupid things that they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be so
Cannibalize each
nice?
other.
Like there's a scanner that scans their head, "Okay, this is a narcissist, you go over here." You know? I mean, it's possible, right? I mean, look at technology.
Yeah, yeah. It should be.
They do need
If
a
it's
label,
awesome
though.
people.
Narcissists need labels. Going to listen
Yeah.
to replay because a lot of names were mentioned. Self-aware narcissist. I want to hear a little what they have to say. Yeah, one of them was that was it Burn Beauty? She talks about narcissism.
Burn Beauty
Burn Beauty?
2018.
Burn
She's
Burn Beauty
she's not a narcissist.
2018.
Yeah, she's
She
not a
what?
narcissist. She's
No,
not a narcissist, but she's
she's a
dealt with
survivor.
narcissism. Yes, she's a survivor.
She she
Yeah.
she's an educator
Yes, yes,
like us.
yeah.
That would be good.
Mhm.
Yes. And sleep. Thank you. We're all good people on here. Cheers to that, Katie. Yes, I love this community and then we're growing and supporting each other and it's so nice to see your faces and well, until you guys decide you want to come on and if you do, it's nice to it's just cool because after you've been through
Yeah,
this shit and you find people that get it, we really need a safe place. Narc should have a big tattoo on their forehead. Yes. It has a
because
scan,
I'm
a
giving
barcode
somebody
right
a chance
there.
next week. I'm not coming on next week. So I'm giving somebody else a chance next week, you guys. So prepare yourself to come on to Shredded Silence next week. I'm not coming on. I give my story this time. So somebody else time
Yes.
next week.
Well, we will all miss you next week. So I hope you have a good rest of your
No,
week and
I will
peaceful.
come and be in your
And
comments. I will be in the comments, but somebody else, I'll give them a chance to,
oh, okay.
be on
Oh,
your.
I see what you're saying. So you can't come on because they'll be there. Okay,
No,
gotcha.
I'm saying
I recognize
I'm giving somebody else a chance now because I came on this week. Somebody else, come on
if
and
they
talk with
want
you.
to, I'm gently coaxing and encouraging. You don't have to show your face if you don't wanna come on here, because I know people are shy, you know what
Yeah,
narcissists, they just wear you down and you don't you're
yeah,
afraid
yeah.
to
To
come
come
on
on.
here and you don't know
Yeah,
who's lurking, and
yeah.
so I
It's
understand
okay.
all that. I'm just excited to talk to you guys and make a connection. I recognize that I have to learn everything I can about myself and my past traumas to figure what it is about my personality traits that attract narcs. I also need to learn how to recognize narcs. And you will. You will. And you'll find yourself. Yep. You're not alone in this for sure.
Yeah.
I volunteer to hold them down while you tattoo them. Earlier, when you were saying narcs can fool professional people, kind of helped because I feel dumb getting fooled by the nice guy that will give his shirt off his back.
Mm,
Those coverts, Deanna, those are the most dangerous because I was with that one and he changed me forever. He is the one that threw me for a loop more than anybody because coverts are easier, not I mean overts. Overts are easier to, identify because they're the loud ones, they get very angry very quickly, and they're just like show offs and everything like that. The covert can be so charming, so helpful. The nice guy that'll give you the shirt off his back, they help everybody, and they're the most dangerous. They're the most quiet. They're the ones that look shy. They're the ones that, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." Yeah. Be careful of
mm,
those people, and you're not dumb, Deanna. You're not dumb because
mm,
you didn't know what you know until you know it now. So, none of us are ever dumb. You know, we didn't ask for this crap. We're genuine people, tried to have, a relationship with someone, tried to have a connection with someone, and they totally took that and used it against
mm,
us. Coverts and communal narcissists are so publicly presentable. Everyone knows
mm.
that overts are shit. Yep. Overts
You
are
see?
I'm just speaking on my experience that they're easier to get rid of because they're so obvious sometimes, most of the time.
Mhm.
But, they are Katie, my ex was so
And one thing
sociable.
about the tread in silence is that they future fake you. So when they future fake you, present
Mhm,
you that, oh, it's going to be this, we're going to do this, and you're going to have this, and then you see a difference, you already made plans for the future that they faked you about. So it's hard to now roll back in everything, all the plans that you had with the future that they fake you out about. You already tied in there, and I think that is
mhm.
so devious to do to somebody.
It is. Well, because they know from the get-go they have no plans on carrying out the what they're promising you, ever.
Hmm.
It just they make me so mad. They make me so I gotta go punch my bag. It's like, how do you sleep at night? Like, but they sleep at night, they have no conscience, they don't
Uh,
care.
they
They
sleep
just don't
good.
I'm just grateful that we're not like that, really.
No.
Because even though, like, a lot of people are fooled that they think they get away with everything, they look like they're so happy, they're so confident, but really they're miserable people. They are
Yeah.
miserable people because 'cause it's
Yeah.
gotta be really hard work to keep up the deception that they keep up, and
And a
pretending to be who
narcissist,
they are and just going around destroying people.
yeah, they they
Katie,
could
my
they
empty
could
promises.
they could antagonize you this minute, and then come the next minute and ask you, what would you like to have for dinner, or what would you want to eat? Or
Yeah, yeah, like nothing happened. They could go out and cheat on you and then come home later that night like,
like robots
uh,
or something. Hmm.
well, the nickname for the ex I was with was Robot
That
because
they
he's a
acted
robot.
like
I'm like,
one.
"You're a fucking robot. You're a robot." She was social in order to gather more supply for themselves and gain more energy for causing your anxiety. This is really great. Us together live talking. We should all give Glennis a big hand. Yes, and Honey Pepper. This has been a good live. I'm gonna have to wrap it up, you guys. I'm getting tired. I gotta go figure out what I got for dinner. The dogs are begging to go pee. But again, thank you, Honey Pepper. It's always
No
great to
problem.
see you and
Anytime.
here on this space. You guys go follow Honey
Bye,
Pepper.
guys.
That's what your handle is, right?
Yes. Bye.
And I will see you guys next week. Love kerneling. They can slap you in the face and expect affection. Yes. But you guys, thank you all for being here. This community has been an awesome. I look forward to it and never allow others to dim your light and always choose yourself. Till next time, I'm signing off for now. Love you all. Mm, bye, you guys.